Pretty wacky material to make the balls with. Cork, wool, chalk, animal fur and even human hair. A few centuries on, Germany got dead into the tennis too, but wanted to make a few modifications to the ball to make it a bit more effective. Around this time, an American chemist had just created something called vulcanized rubber. Out of that, people started developing air-filled rubber balls, which were properly bouncy, but either red or grey in colour. These were manufactured in Melton Mowbray. That's right, the home of the pork pie. One problem, the balls kept on breaking on impact with the racket. The call of new balls please seemingly coming over every other point. Step forward English lawyer and tennis enthusiast John Moyer Heathcote, who suggested balls be covered in flannel to stop them from degrading. And thus the modern-day tennis ball was born. But these were white or black, so how did they become yellow? Well, in 1967, the controller of BBC Two, one Sir David Attenborough, decided the corporation should show Wimbledon on colour TV. He got his wish and it was wide into people's homes across the country. The only sticking point, the white balls were nearly impossible to see on the screen. So the International Tennis Federation, sensing an opportunity, started developing a new ball that would be visible even without the need for 4K LED displays. Not that anyone had that in the late 60s. After rigorous testing, they came up with the colour optic yellow and decided every ball be coated in that colour from there on in. And there you have it. Tennis balls are yellow, all because Sir David Attenborough wanted to watch Wimbledon from the comfort of his own front room. You could say the ITF aced it.
After 6 o'clock, this is talkSPORT Breakfast, and alongside a man who played on the likes of Mourinho, Ranieri, scored a crucial goal to help West Ham back into the Premier League in 2012. 7 England caps, 4 more than Gabby, is Carlton Cole. Carlton, good morning.
Why have you gone there? Al, why have you gone there? Leave Gabby alone.
You mentioned it 3 times to me already. You know I get 4 more goals than Gabby.
Do you know what? Listen, Gabby's a top fella. I love Gabs to bits.
He's on another holiday, for God's sake.
Yeah, he loves a holiday, doesn't he? He loves to get a bit of colour in his skin, doesn't he? He loves it. He loves it. But I'm honoured to be on the show with such a man like yourself.
Oh, I don't know. You're very kind.
We haven't done this rodeo in quite a while, have we?
No.
I think it was probably. It was around lockdown, I think it was.
Was it really?
Yeah, when I had the privilege of sharing a studio with you.
Relax, will you?
You're a ledge. You're a ledge. You got to understand that. The people that listen, they just love you, and you make the show.
You've been busy, haven't you? Where have you been? Pop concerts. You've been all over.
I've been doing things that has made me uncomfortable at times.
Really?
Yeah, like the festival stuff. Like I've never ventured out. I've never gone camping or glamping. Staying out in the wilderness with the elements and then being happy about it because you got things to do straight after. Or it was whether you stay in the tent or not. So I went Glasgow.
Yeah, hold on, rewind here. He was just telling me earlier, the green room was good. Yeah, hello. He makes out, he's got a bottle of water and a pasty in a tent. He's been in the green room at Oasis.
Oh yeah, I've done that as well. That was quite amazing actually. Their first gig over in Cardiff. Some of the lads, well, I do a podcast with Joe Cole and Wayne Bridge. And,
all right.
Yeah, and that's called the Dressing Room Podcast. If you haven't heard it, go and listen to it on Spotify. But yeah, we've been venturing out of our comfort zone and doing things together because we do get along as ex-footballers. You know how it is out. Like, sometimes you just find your tribe, don't you, after football? And I found mine with Coley and Bridgie because we like to do the same stuff. So yeah, I've been enjoying my time off, my break.
You must have a sore neck looking down at them too. Jesus,
they got a sore neck looking up at me.
Couple of Oompa Loompas, isn't they? All right, boys, where are you?
Bridgie's not that small, but I can't talk for Joe. He's like a number 10. You know those little whippets, the little number 10 magicians. Don't have to be big.
Right, we now know Chelsea's FIFA World Cup opponents on Sunday after last night's one-sided second semi-final. Wow, how good were PSG? It was live on talkSPORT.
And the referee has blown the full-time whistle. And what a performance from Paris Saint-Germain. Real Madrid humbled as the European champions make the FIFA Club World Cup final with a devastating display. Luis Enrique has done it again, and now Paris Saint-Germain will face Chelsea in Sunday's final. What a game that should be. But after seeing this, Enzo Maresca and his men will know they've got their work cut out. Full time, Paris Saint-Germain 4, Real Madrid 0.
Right through. I tell you what, Carlton.
Yeah.
I didn't see the game. Right, I had a real early night last night.
Yeah, same here.
But I tell you now, this side talk about togetherness, play for each other, work hard, close down together. Yeah, they're going to take some stock again next year.
Well, Luis Enrique's got them playing some proper football, young, sprightly. Team of identity. That's what I would say. You can have a young team. Everyone wants to do their own thing, and everyone wants to show
Chelsea
that.
Are fairly young, aren't they?
Yeah, but you can see that the individuals in the team, and it kind of takes away from what the team's supposed to be because they are good players.
Yeah.
With PSG, they've got that youth. But they're all on the same page, and they're not selfish. They pass the ball when they're supposed to pass. They square it when they're supposed to square it. No one's in competition to get more goals than the other. They're actually a unit, and I think because where they've grown from is the days of having a Messi, Neymar, Mbappe.
Dembele now is playing as part of the side, isn't it?
Part of a side, so it just shows what a little bit of coaching and a bit of an arm around them does, and Enrique has got that and encapsulated that within that team. You can see it.
Now, in the sports bar last night, Jason Cundy couldn't speak higher of Luis Enrique's team. Here's Jace.
I describe them as a complete team at the moment. And here's the thing: they work hard with the ball, and they work hard, or even harder, without the ball. And then they've got the quality, and he's got this work ethic at the moment, Luis Enrique, that's got them working. Every single player, they've bought into this. But when they go out in those wide areas, the fullbacks push on. They've got Kvaratskhelia on one side, you've got Doué, and you've got Barcola coming on. Wherever you look, and Vitinha in the middle of the park, they've got everything. They are, for me, the most complete team I've seen in a very long time.
Look at that. You said for the listeners who can't see the telly, Troy Deeney out there in the US. The chunk.
He doesn't look like he wanted to be there, actually. He was looking over his shoulder quite a lot, wasn't he?
And Jamie's got a hump. Jamie O'Hara, he doesn't get a Clacton. So he's got the major hump.
Jamie wants to be out there.
He's got the hump.
Troy's getting all the decent work, isn't he? He's getting on the plane for talkSPORT. I actually haven't been on the plane for talkSPORT. Actually, I have. Tell a lie, I went to Monaco.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I done a show out in Monaco. It was brilliant.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you're going to go anywhere.
On the racing track for Formula E. Yeah, it was good.
Right. Well, we're going to talk Formula One later on. You know, it's incredible what's happening there. I think the Verstappens have got their way, so we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So the first ever expanded FIFA Club World Cup finals live on the talkSPORT network this Sunday. It's 8 o'clock for Chelsea fans, as PSG take on Chelsea for the chance to be crowned World Club champions. So, how much success can PSG have in future years? We asked French football expert and a big PSG fan, Julien Lorenz. Julien, let's hear.
What a performance from PSG again. What a team this is, and what a season this is turning out to be. They are in for a 5th title, the 4th final of the season after the Champions League, obviously, the French Cup, the French Community Shield, and this competition there. Incredible, the way they've battered and dominated Real Madrid after what they did to Bayern Munich and to Atletico Madrid and to Inter Miami to a certain extent, but also to Inter Milan and to all the English clubs in the Champions League this season as well. Is just breathtaking, really. Ousmane Dembele, the best player in the world right now, another goal, another assist for him. And even if they benefited, obviously, from mistakes by Real Madrid, they were just so much better than them, and they could easily have scored another goal or 2, maybe even 3. They had so many chances and didn't give anything away to Real Madrid. So another very impressive performance. Not one more game to go.
Just seeing some of the goals there, Carlton. They're not used to being pressed like that, Real Madrid, are they?
No, look, they usually have the ball.
Yeah.
You know, PSG is looking like the outfit that we thought they'd look like. And you know, after the climax of having won the Champions League and then going into another tournament like this, you'd think they're probably not take it as seriously. I think some of the other teams started off not taking it seriously, and then now they've kind of grown into it. Yeah. And now they see the prize at the end, and you might as well win it now, isn't it?
Yeah,
so they've put on full gas. It's full steam ahead.
Do you give Chelsea a chance?
Well, you know, Chelsea in finals, they've got history. You know, that like they do turn up. Whether it's going to be their day or not, it's up to PSG to prove. Because I think it's for PSG to lose, honestly. But Chelsea, they've got there. Full credit to Maresca. He's got his team there, and you can't even fault that. So you've got to just support that as much as possible.
Well, if you're a Real Madrid fan, we'll hear from the Real Madrid, their side of things, from the former president Ramon Calderon at 6:30 after a disastrous start for Xabi Alonso as manager. Now, in transfer news, Spurs have agreed a deal worth around £55 million for West Ham's Mohamed Kudus. We'll get Carlton's view on that later. Former Hammer striker Dean Ashton not happy to see the club considering offers from the rivals.
It's a strange one. I think I'd love to really know, first of all, what Graham Potter feels about it, because he is a terrific talent, and on his day I think he's unplayable at times. The way he can keep the ball, the way he can dribble, he's one of the best in the Premier League at that. His numbers have dropped significantly this season compared to his first season, which is a worry, and you worry about whether that is a mentality issue, an attitude issue, or whether the manager just feels like actually he wants to have a player in his squad that he can mould a little bit more to what he likes. But it's decent money. It just won't go down well when you're selling one of your best players to Tottenham if you're a West Ham supporter.
Do you think there's more to come from West Ham now, Carlton, in terms of new faces coming in?
Oh yeah, well this is the problem that West Ham have at the moment, as we already knew that, and it was well documented at the start, well the latter part of last season, that we're going to have to probably sell to bring in. We've got a guard on loan, and it's not looking like he's going to be coming back, so that was a problem. We've got a few other positions that probably need to be filled as well, but we just have to, I think we have to let go a few players to bring the players then that comes in on Graham Potter's identity.
You're going to need better players though, aren't you, because it was a struggle last year.
It's players that fit. It's not better players, it's players that fit what Graham Potter wants to do. It might not be the better player. It might, Kudus is a fantastic player, phenomenal player. We know that. We've seen. But yeah, he did have a drop-off last season. Not sure whether it's the change of manager halfway through, and then just trying to re-collaborate. But it was just more for me that it was a significant drop-off, and I think that makes him a little bit sellable.
Yeah.
And then once you get to that part, but it's just the fact that he's going to a rival club.
It's going to be difficult, Carlton. To get in the top half, top 10. Harry Potter couldn't do it. Not with the squad you've got at the moment. Never mind Graham.
Well, listen, we've seen how Nottingham Forest have achieved big things. I don't see why not. As long as you've got a team together, pulling in the same direction, got the right components to help each other on that football pitch. It doesn't matter how good the player is. If you've got a good team together, you can actually go and do things. We've seen it with other teams as well. We've seen it in Brentford. We've seen, you know what I mean? Like some of these teams, Brighton as well, just have a good squad that work for each other, and that gets you up the table. So it's not like we're looking at individual players to get us up the table. We want a team that gets us up the table.
Okay, West Ham fans, get involved this morning. Give us a call, 03717 22 3344. Is there any excuse to be selling to Spurs? Are the owners letting the fans down again? Let us know what you're thinking this morning. Coming up, we turn our attention to the back pages. And I read this earlier and I'm gutted. Some worrying news for Crystal Palace fans. That's next.
He plays that villain role very well now. That's crying out for a little bit more attention. It comes with a lot of crazy people. I took it personally and it kind of made me rebel a bit more. To be honest, I don't really care anymore. I'm never going to change.
minutes past 6 o'clock, talkSPORT breakfast, Alan Brazil. Carlton called with me, and now this just does my head in this. So I've got down here to ask you this question.
God.
Carlton, which song absolutely slapped? Slapped?
Slapped.
What does that mean?
That's not your language.
What does that mean?
Slapped.
Which absolutely slapped.
It's these young producers, you see, like they're
Slapped.
like slap me across the chops. What do you mean slapped?
I know.
Slap me on the
Honestly.
bum. What are we talking about?
He's not young either.
Slap me on the back, face. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, but what's his best song? I know what it means, but slapped.
Slapped.
I've never ever heard of that, you tube.
I can't have Alan asking me what song slapped.
What was your favourite song then at the concert?
Oasis.
Right.
I'd say me. Do you know what I've done when I come out the train station, and obviously like you get.
Where we're talking here, Wembley or Manchester?
No,
where?
Cardiff.
Oh, Cardiff.
Yeah, so
right.
that's when the first. So when you come out, and then I was going to meet the rest of the lads. There's these people, punters that. There's these people that kind of sell you like the bucket hats, the glasses. So I went and I looked at all the bucket hats and different song titles on them, but I went and got the Supersonic.
That's not you, a bucket hat, Carlton.
Why?
No.
You haven't seen me in that mode.
No, Carlton.
See,
look. No.
I'm unrecognisable. I'm unrecognisable when I'm in festival mode or concert mode. Yeah, I'm different.
I can't see you with a bucket hat on.
I had a bucket hat on.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was in there. I was in it. I was in the thick of things.
I can see Goldstein with a bucket hat on.
Nah, I saw Goldstein in the back. I saw Goldstein in the green room.
Oh, green room. Hello. Unbelievable.
He's a friends and family. You know, Goldstein's a massive friend of. Is it Noel? I think he is. And I see him there. I said, go figure. I forgot your mates.
Get me in. Get me in the green room.
Who, me?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to do that?
No.
It's not like I can sneak you in anywhere.
No. Did you get in? Did you say to Goldstein, get me in the green room?
Nah, I was in there already.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, he was surprised to see me just as I was surprised to see him.
How'd you work that one out?
Mate, you know, contacts, you know. Wink, wink. But no, they put on a great show, and I was so happy to be there, see history, see the brothers reunite, the whole band reuniting, and they put on a great show. We was in the middle with everyone there, with all the fans around, and then we was just having a great time. Good. All the songs that came on.
Right, let's look now at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business, and the paper's absolutely slapped this morning. A guy can't even get in the talkSPORT green room. Will join us next.
Backpage review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Are you a freelancer? Get business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big mobile networks. For terms and verification, visit tescomobile.com/business.
And Dolly Clinkers, what's going on with all the changes here? Do you know what I mean?
You can't take it, can you?
I never know who's doing the news, who's doing the travel, who's doing the review of the papers. Do you know, they're just trying to make it tougher for me.
Like,
morning, Al.
He's not happy to see you.
Yeah, I know.
What's going
It's
on?
been about a year, though, isn't it, to be fair?
It would be, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. How you doing? You look a lot slimmer, I've got to say.
Really?
You're looking well.
Maybe I'm ill, I don't know.
What are you on? What diet are you on? Like Eddie Abu diet? Or,
no.
Eggs.
Peroni diet.
It's just a liquid diet.
Yeah, good diet, yeah. Peroni and soup.
All right, chubby chops. Get on that.
Well, I'm injured now, that's why I'm chubby. I need some weight loss.
What's happened?
I've injured my ankle, Carlton.
You playing football?
I was at Soccer Aid training and I was doing a penalty shootout against Edwin van der Sar.
Oh.
Soccer Aid training. Whoa. Expand on this.
Yeah, so you know when Drive were down there and all the celebs were there? And
I don't know.
It was like the green room, Carlton, which you're familiar with, of course. And I took 3 penalties. They absolutely slapped. Scored 3, but when I took the third, I went over on my ankle. And I've done ligament damage 16 weeks.
So,
really?
Unprovoked. Yeah. Unprovoked. Just not even a tackle. I thought there was a tackle in there.
No. It's pathetic, is what
You've got weak ankles, bro. You've got to do some ligament training. I
think it was the weight on top of them.
Maybe just got weak calves. Eh? Slim calves.
Maybe too many drinks in the old.
All that.
Definitely, I was on the Peroni diet that week. I think.
What do you want to start with?
Obviously a big win for the Lionesses last night. That's across a lot of the papers. The Sun going with Lion Yeses. The Daily Star Orange Squash because they thrashed the Netherlands 4-0 to make it through. A lot of papers reflecting on Christian Horner as well, being sacked by Red Bull.
Strange timings as well, isn't it?
It is.
So this is clearly look, I've not read it all, but I'm thinking that's Max and his old man. You know, they've come nose to nose, and someone had to go. Well,
I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring you a bit of an update on it a bit later in the show and bring you all the details. But you're right, Al. There's moving parts with that kind of story. But the story I wanted to talk to you about, which is on the back of a few papers, Eagles in Euro weight. This is about Palace.
No, I don't like this.
It's rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Talk to me. Let me know.
So what happened was they were waiting on Lyon, who got relegated to League 2 in France. Yeah. They then won their appeal, so they're back in Ligue 1, which means they can play in the Europa League, which means Palace is still waiting on UEFA.
Same owners.
But John Textor owns both clubs. He has sold his shares in Palace, but it's past the deadline. Yeah. So, I mean, Palace still might get a Conference League place, but it's looking like they might get kicked out of the Europa League. It's such a joke, isn't it? I mean, you've got to feel sorry for the fans, haven't you? More than anyone.
Yeah, but do you know what? If they do get kicked out, at least the Conference League is a nice place to start. Because, you know, like, when you haven't won anything in Europe for however long, or they have never won in Europe, have they? I think the Conference League is a nice starter pack. Because West Ham, we appreciated it. We appreciated the Europa Conference League, and we went on a nice run. The fans get to go away, and you're not kicked out early because you're playing against teams. I think any team that's in the Premier League should be winning the Conference League. So it's a good journey for the fans.
Well, I look forward to that information later on.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm getting the.
But I hope they get what they want.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Ollie, thank you. Get a bit of ice on your ankle.
I will do. Yeah, I'll rest up from when that.
If you come out with me after the show, I'll get some ice on your ice.
All right, I'll join you there, mate.
He's wearing this Robocop boot. Like I used to wear that when I was playing on the field.
That was a look at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business. Coming up, Real Madrid got absolutely smashed last night, 4-0 to PSG live on talkSPORT. We'll get the Madrid reaction next. Is that acceptable? I don't think so. They got slapped.
Backpage review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Are you a freelancer? Get business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big mobile networks. For terms and verification, visit tescomobile.com/business.
cricket balls are red, baseballs are white, American footballs are brown, and tennis balls are yellow. We don't even think about it really, but the story behind the tennis ball is actually quite interesting and even involves Sir David Attenborough. I know, here's the tale. Tennis has its roots in 12th century France when people used to make balls from all sorts. Cork, wool, chalk, animal fur and even human hair. Uniformity was found centuries later when people started making balls out of something called vulcanized rubber, invented in the US. But the balls kept on breaking, so a British lawyer, who also loved tennis, suggested they put a flannel covering on the outside, and thus the tennis ball as we know it was born. One problem, it was either white or black. And when the controller of BBC Two, Sir David Attenborough, decided Wimbledon would be shown in colour on the BBC in 1967, no one could actually see the balls on telly. So the International Tennis Federation went away and created a new colour called optic yellow, which would show up without the need for a 4K LED display. Not that anyone had that in the 1960s, of course. Since then, all tennis balls have been covered in that material and have their trademark colour for that exact reason. Amateur tennis players and dogs worldwide are forever grateful. You could say the ITF aced it.
Just thinking about that when the Scottish Open starts today in North Berwick. Beautiful golf course. Right, Captain Cole alongside me in the early this week. The chunk, Jamie O'Hara, labelled Manchester United embarrassing and pathetic for trying to bring 38-year-old Jamie Vardy into the club. And apparently those comments landed him in hot water. Not with Jamie, but Mrs. Vardy.
I actually did say, Vardy would be a good punt, right?
Yeah.
I got a message today. From Vardy's wife.
Oh, yeah. Did you now?
I did indeed, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Why have you not told me this before? This is good info. Go on.
Yeah,
Rebecca. Go on.
Yeah.
What's she saying?
We have a bit of banter, to be fair.
Go on.
She messaged me and went, "You talking garbage again?"
So she listens.
Yeah.
So she listens.
I mean, well, I actually said it was a good punt.
You did. But what you said was it's embarrassing Man United are looking.
Yeah, it's embarrassing to Man United. But yeah, I was digging myself, trying to get myself out of a bit of a hole with the Vardys, and
well,
did
you send a little apology?
I managed to get myself out.
Did you smooth it over?
I smoothed it over. She knows something. She knows something.
Are they going to be at your party on Friday night?
No.
I said, well, at least they could, if they got there, they could stay with the Roonies.
Oh my gosh, Jamie! Sometimes he puts himself in it, doesn't he?
Well, he doesn't think.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Think before you engage your mouth, Jamie.
He just blurts it out, and it doesn't. Listen, he's got a point. Like, if Man United are looking at Jamie Vardy, what does that say? Do you know what I mean?
What does it say, Callum?
It doesn't say a lot, really, of ambition and future, does it? But Jamie, he will get you goals right away. But what's the future hold? You know? And that's no disrespect to Jamie. Jamie's a terrific player. He's had a terrific career.
Still got his pace, hasn't he?
Still got his pace. But is he the right fit for Manchester United right now?
Maybe to get him off to a flyer or
well, it depends how you utilise him. Obviously, I'll get you.
Right now, not long ago, PSG Paris were obsessed with bringing big-name players to the club. Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, Ibrahimovic, we spoke about. But since moving them all on and focusing on building a team, they finally won the Champions League for the first time last season, and they were brilliant. And after they hammered Real Madrid 4-0 in the Club World Cup last night, Troy Deeney, who's over there, thinks Madrid need to do something similar.
Real Madrid have got some real big decisions to make. I know they're the Galacticos, I know they're a huge club, and we heard beforehand as well here that just the titles that they've won, 35 Liga wins, 15 Champions League wins. They're used to winning things. If you don't do that in a position of like with this team, I think they have to sell one of the big two. I really do. Either Mbappe's got to go or Vinicius has got to go, and then you build from there.
Nice to see a big crowd there, Carlton. Do you see the crowd? Brilliant. Right, let's get the thoughts of a man who was responsible for bringing some of the top Galacticos to Real Madrid and many more to the club. Good morning, Mr. Ramon Calderon. Ramon, good morning. Oh, no, he's not there yet. He will come. So, I'll be honest with you, I fancy PSG, but to win like that, the PSG. I was wondering how important they take this game, but quite clearly they want to win it.
Yeah, definitely. And, well, listen, you get to this stage, and you've got Real Madrid. They want to win it as well, and it's a massive game. PSG v Real Madrid. So it just shows you that how seriously they've taken this tournament, and it's actually really pleasing to see, because I thought most of these teams they've had a long season. They don't want this at the back end of the season, because this is actually following into the new season anyway. But they've taken it really seriously, and it's for the accolades of being the best in the world. And I think they've attacked it right. PSG.
Well, honestly, they probably are the best club side in the world at the moment.
Yeah, you can see how they're playing. They're playing with freedom, despite the mistakes that Real Madrid made. You just see that they were much better. PSG were much better than Real Madrid, and Real Madrid just need to get it together.
It's a funny time of the year. Is that, I was going to say, is that the team who wins is the best in the world? Well, if PSG go on and win it, and they probably will beat Chelsea, then you could say, well, yeah, but, there's still a lot of good teams who are not even invited into the tournament.
Yeah.
And then Xavi Alonso, they're already saying in our worrying times, give him a break, will you? I know, give him a break.
Let him get his feet under the table first. Like, he's not even got, I think, how many players has he got in from his, I think he's only got in Trent, hasn't he? Yeah, and I think there's more to come. But
for me, Real Madrid, look, don't get me wrong, it's 100 million to the winner, but Real Madrid, for me, it's all about Champions League again. It's winning domestically.
Yeah.
Because Barcelona looks strong again, don't they?
Yeah, so they need to get that together first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's their aim this year, to win the domestic league and win the Champions League.
Yeah, they need to get back on the horse.
And that's what Xavi will be thinking. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Right, what about it? But in White and Jordan yesterday, Danny Murphy maintained his view that the tournament lacks prestige.
I would say the same thing about the relevance of it from a footballing
perspective. Would you still be saying winning the final's worthless?
Yeah. For me, it would be. That doesn't mean anything at the moment, this. It might grow to. But I don't think, from a player's perspective, we've got so many important competitions to be playing and things to look forward to stay fit for. I don't think it's a big deal on the player.
It's not meaningless. It's just not as meaningful as people are trying to characterise it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do. At the end of the day, funny time, players are tired, players just want to have a break and get ready for the... these guys are going straight back into the new season, and I think they will suffer come sort of December, January, times definitely. Like that. So I understand what Danny's saying, but I think Simon hit the nail on the head there. It is, of course it's meaningful, 100 million, but the big one is to come. The domestic league, the Premier League, whatever, and then the Champions League's the big one. That's who tells you the best team, I think.
Most definitely, but it means. Do you know who it means more to? The South Americans and the teams.
But they're still playing. You know, they're in the middle of the season, aren't they?
And it means a lot to them. You can see by some of their performances, it means the world, because they've always wanted to pitch themselves up against the European teams and say, "Oh, we're better than them." Or there's always a thing like that. But we don't look at them like that. But they look at us like that.
So, Carlton, just like, how did Chelsea approach this final against PSG? Do they try and sit back and let them have the ball, or do they try and do what PSG? Do they try and press them and get the ball back?
I haven't got the skills or the know-how to tell Maresca what to do on this one. But the thing is, Maresca has made a load of mistakes. When he does make mistakes, he's not shy in correcting it whilst on the pitch and accepting that he got it wrong first time out.
George used to do that, didn't he? He used to do that and say, "Oh, this is not working. Change."
Yeah, and I've seen him do that, and it's actually been quite good to see, because you know some managers are so stubborn. It's either my way or the highway. And if the players don't fit, then you're not going to accommodate for the players' skill, what they have, and try and get the best out of them. He can see it, he changes it, and reacts, and that's what you want from a manager, and especially going up against the PSG, where you're going to need to be able to do that and be flexible.
Yeah, right. Still to come on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Find everything you need for your landscaping project in stock and available for delivery. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, 6:42. We'll find out from former England coach Paul Fabrice if Ben Stokes is rushing Jofra Archer back too early. Is it too early? He'll be making his first Test appearance in 4 years as England take on India at Lord's this morning. I think this is a very important game. I know we're looking at the Ashes come, over December, end of the year, but this is important, this Indian game.
Yeah.
We'll be joined right here in the studio by 2003 Rugby World Cup winner Jason Robinson. We'll ask if the Lions are running out of options at fullback. Blair Kinghorn was added to the injury list yesterday. Reading today, hopefully it's not too bad. That was a look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Join the club and get low trade prices. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
plays that villain role very well now. That's crying out for a little bit more attention. It comes with a lot of crazy people. I took it personally and it kind of made me rebel a bit more. To be honest, I don't really care anymore. I'm never going to change.
Who's this, Carlton? Who sings this? You don't know. The Beach Boys.
I wouldn't have known that.
No, the Beach Boys. Yeah. Do you like a bit of the beach? You get down to Brighton now and again?
Nah. I haven't been to Brighton. Have I been to Brighton?
You must have been in Brighton, living where you live.
No, I don't. I've been to Brighton, but I've not been to the beach, I don't think. Actually, I have.
You sure?
Yeah, I've been to the pier. And then but I'm more of a South End man.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be packed, especially the next few days. Crikey. Why are we playing the Beach Boys this morning? Well, a story was spotted in the papers. We really do like to be beside the seaside. The seaside stirs up our fondest memories. A study suggests sun, sea and sand makes Brits more nostalgic, with rivers and lakes also among our top feel-good locations. So there you go. South End, what's that? Leon Sea, that's nice down there.
Yeah. Very nice. It's just nice and calm. Tony Cotty land.
Yeah, but you live the wrong side now to go down to South End, don't you?
Yeah, but I've got people down there, so you go where your people are at.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Cotty, I just said Tony Cotty. That's my guy. You know what I mean? He's always down there.
Why do you like little guys?
It makes me feel big.
Oh, you mean some little guys?
Well, little guys with massive talent. That's what it is.
Yeah. He was. Tony Gale, do you know Gailey?
Yeah, I know Gailey. Yeah, I'm always with Gailey. I'm with Gailey in, I think about a month or so.
Gailey likes Billericay Beach. He's always around.
I know, he loves Billericay.
Yeah, Harry's Beach.
Yeah. But yeah, Tony Gailey's a top man, isn't he? He's a lovely fella.
West Ham fans, you can get involved this morning by calling us 03717 223344. Your starman Kudos reportedly agreed to go to Spurs. Is there any excuse to be selling to Spurs? Are the owners letting the fans down once again? Let us know what you're thinking this morning. Jason's a West Ham fan. Let's say good morning. Jason, hi.
Morning, Al. Morning, Colts. You all right?
How you doing, Jason? You all right, mate?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I just want to put it to you, Al. The star man is Jared Bowen. Let's have that straight. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka, they're up there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want, Colton, I want to pick your brains really on this. Of course, we're livid and upset because we love him. You know, we're going to be gutted. We do like Mo, you know that.
Yeah.
But let's have it straight, right? We've got to go and reinvest. The club ain't flush with cash, as we've been told, right?
Yeah.
So if we were to go and try and get a McAtee, whether it's a loan deal or a sale deal from City, and then Diouf at left back, do you think that's good money invested?
I think it is. I think if you're going to listen, we know that Mo's a talented, top talented player, but you're going to want to start building what Graham Potter wants. Like, we don't know that if he's if Kudus is going to be his main character. Kudus, you got to leave him to be free. I'm not sure how many times he got into positions where he didn't make the right decision, and I think that might probably frustrate the manager. And there's a lot that that Graham Potter wants to implement in his team. So he needs a team that's going to respect his values and the way he wants to play. And if Kudus is going to be surplus the requirements because of it, then it's just as long as you invest the right way, I think you get the right players in, young players that want to respond to what he wants. I think you're going to see a big improvement.
Jason, are you worried about this next coming season? Is it going to be a struggle?
So a lot of the people I speak to are worried, right? I was on a lot of the fan shows last night. Big shout out to E20 and Hammers Chat and Gonzo and Gio.
Yes.
They do a fantastic job.
They do.
But I just want to say I'm actually not worried because I'm not expecting a lot now. So let's go and have fun.
All right, cheers.
We've got the return of Maxwell Cornet. People are forgetting him. He is a quality player.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, I hope your enthusiasm is correct. Thank you, mate. Right, Ollie Clinker's back with us to bring us up to speed. Now, this is big news coming out this morning, if you're a Formula One fan. This is what happened yesterday, Ollie.
Yeah, Christian Horner sacked by Red Bull as the team chief. It's worth bearing in mind, right, that this is after 20 years. He's going to go down as one of the greatest team chiefs ever. Won 8 Drivers' Championships, 6 Constructors' Championships. Yeah. Now, he was involved in a sexting scandal last year. He got cleared by an independent review, but after that, there was a bit of an exodus. Adrian Newey left, and he's like a genius. Yeah, absolute genius car designer. He went to Aston Martin. Jonathan Wheatley left. He's a sporting director as well. And still, Verstappen rose above all of that, and he won his 4th title. He's always said he's got a good relationship with Horner, but Horner's been falling out with his dad, Jos. And Jos wasn't happy with Horner being in charge. In fact, his F1 journalist, James Allen, who was on H&J yesterday, he was speaking about what was going on behind the scenes.
Particularly, not so much Max, but particularly his father, as you say. Yeah, they had a big row earlier in the year. My understanding is they had another big row on Sunday after the race in Silverstone. Yes, I think there is definitely a school of thought that the Verstappens have played their part in sort of impressing upon Red Bull that this team needs a change if it's going to save itself. Verstappen's contract runs for another 3 years, but there are escape clauses for him if he wanted to activate them. Whether or not, I think this year it may or may not be likely that the performance would be poor enough on his side that would trigger that. But the major rule change coming for next year, and I think it's more likely now that Verstappen will stay where he is into next year, have a look who's got the fastest car and engine, and being by some margin the best driver in Formula One right now, I think he can then take his pick for 2027 of whether he goes to Mercedes or he goes to Aston Martin, who will have Adrian Newey and Honda engines in 2026 and 27. So, Verstappen's definitely holding the cards now, that's for sure.
Adrian Newey used to live next, very close to Chris Evans, by the way.
Ah, really?
Yeah, over Ascot Way, and a genius, you're dead right. And of course, Verstappen Senior was a good driver himself, but clearly, it goes in circles, doesn't it, Formula One? And the McLaren at the moment is a hell of a car. But in saying that, the rumour was that Max would be going to Mercedes, so maybe it was... Right, if you don't change it, he goes, then we're off to Mercedes. Maybe that was the case. Yeah. For me, he's still the best driver.
Yeah, and almost, if you relate it to football, it's a bit like is he too big for the club kind of situation?
No player's ever too big for the club, unless you're Cristiano.
But the thing is, with F1, it's so different, isn't it? Because Verstappen, all of that engineering, the car has been built for him to be the best driver. And that's been shown in the second drivers, who've all been... useless, let's be honest, for Red Bull, and maybe that's where Horner's kind of gone short. He's basically put all his eggs in one basket to make this car perfect for Verstappen, and then the issue is Horner's now gone, obviously, but if Red Bull now lose Verstappen as well, it could be a nightmare for them, couldn't it?
Mind you, they have dominated for so long, haven't they? Let's give Christian some credit here. They have dominated brilliantly.
Maybe they need a shake-up, it's a new way of thinking, a new lease of life. You know what I mean? Sometimes it is good for the company, but what you would want is a bit of continuity. I always get my words mixed. Continuity, is that a word?
Try again.
Continuity. There you go. But you need but Max is look at our face. But Max is definitely
try one more time.
Don't use big words.
Mate,
Gabby tries it as well.
No. I got that. I got it in the locker, Al. I got it in the locker.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer your Aston Martin or your top-class Mercedes? What one do you prefer? In your garage.
You're putting me in
your garage.
I'd rather a Mercedes.
Would you?
Yeah.
So if you were going out for a little drive down to Brighton, you take your Mark out, not your Aston.
I wouldn't take an Aston, no, because I can't get in it. I wouldn't be able to get in it. We were just talking about getting in and out of Ubers. Like, big people like us can't get in and out.
Cat was talking about an Uber. I says, you can't get in an Uber. I get an executive one. It's only an extra 12 quid.
Depending on the distance. But no, as I said, you do need that progression, and I think maybe it is good for Red Bull to change up a little bit. You never know.
Yeah. Not a curveball. Next Grand Prix as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how Red Bull
get on. When's the next Grand Prix?
Very on the spot there, aren't we?
But you're our F1 expert. Is it Spa in Belgium?
It's at a racetrack somewhere.
Spa?
Yes. Is it Spa?
It's fast track.
That's one of the best. It's one of the best, yeah.
You going?
Yeah, definitely. I'll be there. Yeah. Didn't even know where it was. Yeah.
Right.
You'll get there somehow.
Can you get me an Uber?
I can get you an Uber.
You'll get there with Dad's boot on.
You can walk there.
Oh, I beat it. You've got to come informative next time.
Will do.
We'll more on this story with former F1 team principal Gunther Steiner at 9 a.m, so make sure you tune into that one. Coming up, we'll have everything you need to know about that incredible win for the Lionesses. They needed it, didn't they, yesterday? But plenty more from very own Carol Vorderman on talkSPORT, Carlton Cole, and his favourite word, hypocritical.
Oh, we're doing it again.
Hypocritical.
Yeah. Hold on, let me just calm down here. Hypocritical. No. Hypocritical.
The Euros defence is back on for the Lionesses. They whimpered against France, but came roaring back against the Netherlands. 4-0 in the end, and Serena Wiegman's happy with the response from her players.
I'm very happy with the performance. I think we bounced back really well from France. Of course, we were not really happy with that performance. We had conversations, and how the team responded today was really good, and I think we played a lot better.
Goals from Lauren James, Georgia Stanway and Ella Toone did the business. But on the full-time phone-in, former Lioness Jordan Hobbs says Alessia Russo was the standout performer.
You look at the last game, she was so isolated, and today, you know, she had so many more bodies around her, and that's why she's ended up either creating chances for herself. She's obviously set up Ella Toone for one of the goals, and, you know, with Alessia Russo, I think people don't appreciate probably how much she holds the ball up and allows players to get up the field and create chances for England.
Just the 3 assists for Russo and, agonisingly, another disallowed goal. A win against Wales means the Lionesses will qualify for the quarter-final. Champions League winners PSG are through to the Club World Cup final after demolishing Real Madrid 4-0. They'll take on Conference League winners Chelsea. Dean Ashton was on commentary for talkSPORT. He predicts a tough night for the Blues.
I think they're just too well-oiled. They've got too many talented players and off the bench. But I'm really fascinated to see where Chelsea are at and just whether they can cope defensively with what PSG have got to offer. I think it makes for a terrific final.
That final will be live on talkSPORT from the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey on Sunday night. The third test gets underway against India at Lords this morning, and after 4 years away, Jofra Archer is finally back in the test side. Ben Stokes told us he cannot wait to see him back in action.
Now that day's finally here, it's amazing for us as his teammates, but also for him. And skill that Joff possesses, we all know what that is. Incredibly skillful in times where he bowls the absolute speed of light. You know, he's a game changer. He's got all the attributes to be one of the all-time greats.
Remember, we'll be bringing you live updates from Lords throughout the day.
Minutes past 7 o'clock. Former Chelsea, West Ham and England striker Carlton Cole alongside me. On the way for you this morning, we're going to be joined right here in the studio by 2003 Rugby World Cup winner Jason Robinson as the Lions get closer to the first test against Australia. Two former England coaches, Paul Farbrace and David Bumble Lloyd, will give us their thoughts on Jofra Archer making his first test appearance in 4 years this morning. And former Haas team principal Gunther Steiner will react to the news that Red Bull have sacked Christian Horner after 20 years in charge. Wow, tears by all accounts yesterday. Now, though, the Lionesses are back on track.
The message to the Lionesses is simple. Just win. Do they have what it takes to keep their hopes alive?
And then, you know, you have to win this game to stay in the competition, and we have not been in this situation. before.
James on the edge of the area onto the left foot. Oh yes, that's a majestic goal from England's Lauren James.
Love the celebration, looking at the fans, hands on hips. Here we are.
It's all today, so they wanted to bring that energy, and when you do get together and things work.
Towards Russo on the edge of the D, and then the snapshot is in for two. Some bullets into the back of the net from Georgia Stanway. Boone hits it left-footed, blocked. James steers it in. England have a third, and that'll surely do it.
It's always nice to get on the score sheet as well. I mean, I think I could have had two, but I'll let LJ have it instead.
Two left-footed shots. It's four. What a performance from England!
It has been a joy to watch. Thoroughly deserved this, and like we said, 4-0. It could have been 8 or 9-0.
In Serena, we trust.
This was, as what the players said, the proper England.
So in their winner bus game against the Dutch last night, Serena Weigmann's England thumped the Dutch 4-0, the Netherlands. It means that victory over Wales will see them into the knockout stages, despite the shaky opening loss to France. Here's England boss and how her players handled the pressure against the Dutch.
I'm really happy with the performance, and especially because it shows what the team is about. Bounce back from France, very hard game. And a loss, and then you have to win this game to stay in the competition, and we have not been in this situation before. So we reviewed France. We had conversations with the team, and you could tell in training that they really came together and tried to and wanted to do really a lot better than France. But then still you need to show that on the pitch, and that's exactly what the team did. Exploit spaces. Harmed the Netherlands where we could harm them, but also the high press, what we did really well. And even if the long ball would come, then we defended that really well too. So this was, as what the players said, the proper England.
Carlton, do you think England can go all the way?
Yeah, definitely. They're going to want to retain their title. It was a poor showing against France. I must say, I watched that game. But yeah, they've come up, responded really well. I know after a loss, first kickoff, and you lose quite convincingly to a good French team, it's hard to come back and rebound from that. But when you look at the whole scenario, they've responded so well, coming back to beat a Netherlands team like 4-0, and all the key players that are supposed to stand up, they stood up. James was unbelievable. Ruscio was brilliant as well. So I'm really happy about him.
Right, let's get some reaction to last night's impressive win with someone, not eating humble pie. Crikey, who's writing these today? When the Lioness lost 2-1 to France, a certain Adrian Dunham handed Serena a rating of 1 out of 10. Let's find out if she's ready to apologise. Adrian, sorry, I'm not writing these. Morning, Adrian Dunham. Oh, dear.
Morning, Adrian.
Morning, Alan. Morning, Carlton. Listen, Saturday did happen. It's not been airbrushed out of history. It was truly terrible. But the great thing is, it's such a huge leap from there to last night, to yesterday, when England were absolutely sensational. I'm not sure I can remember such a difference in performance, quality difference in performance at a tournament in such a short space of time from any team in men's or women's football. They were so bad on Saturday, but yesterday they were absolutely fantastic. They actually looked like potential winners of the tournament, which is fantastic. So
Wales in the way now. They're going to. It looks as if they beat Wales, they'll end up runners up in the group. Is that good or bad? Runners up, is it a easier way to final?
Well, we worked it out before the first game that actually finishing runner-up means that you won't get Spain until the final. Spain are the big ones, of course. They're the best team in the world. They're the world champions. They beat England in the World Cup final a couple of years ago. So that means that you've got more of a chance of getting to the final. If you finish top of the group, the chances are you'll meet Spain in the semi-final. So I actually felt for the first time, I went to watch Spain in Toon the other night, and they were absolutely fantastic. They demolished Belgium, who play quite well, but some of their players are absolutely superb, truly world-class. And they haven't just got one, they've got 2 or 3 real world-class players, the Spanish. So they are the team to beat without any question. But for the first time, I felt that England have the tools that could actually do damage to Spain, and that's the final I think most people would want. if England carry on playing the way they did last night. But in Lauren James, 2-goal hero yesterday, they have got there Atana Bonmati, somebody very similar, somebody who's a match winner, a game changer, somebody with true quality. And I think that LJ could be the key to England possibly winning these Euros.
Yeah. Adrian, tell me a little bit of your experience out there in Switzerland. I know it's a beautiful, clean country. You enjoying it?
It is clean. You know what? Everybody cleans up after themselves. We could learn a lot from the Swiss back home in England. Yeah, it's a lovely country, absolutely. And whilst I wouldn't say it's gone football crazy, the fact that the home nation have kept themselves in it, they've been competitive, I think has been really important. We've been based in Zurich. I've travelled to a couple of places while I've been here, a couple of other places, but Zurich is absolutely lovely. I can see beyond the camera the mountains in the distance, and it's just a wonderful place. Some of the venues, the stadium in Thun, when you look at the backdrop, it is all mountains and it's fantastic.
Yeah. Believe it or
not, I scored a hat. Belgium, and it's very similar.
Believe it or not, I scored a hat trick there for FC Baden.
Really?
Against Thun, yes, I did.
Yeah. Lovely.
That must have been a very long time.
It's by the mountains, Adrian, isn't it?
Yeah. Say again, sorry?
It's by the mountains.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And listen, everywhere seems picturesque, and it is a wonderful place, no doubt about it. But what I will say, it's incredibly expensive.
Yeah, it is. My sister lives there, so I hardly go to see her. Too expensive.
By the way, talk about hat tricks, Adrian. When was the last time you got a hat trick?
Me? Hat trick of what?
3 beers in a row.
What about Wales then? Is this a formality, do you think? England's next game, the Lionesses?
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting. Listen, Wales have lost 3-0 and 4-1. When they went 1-1 against France, we were all absolutely stunned, but it shows there's definitely a competitive spirit in the Welsh. The fans get behind them as well, and I think that really does affect the players. Sometimes people think that's a bit of a myth. With Wales, I think it's absolutely true. And the other thing is there's Wales players who will definitely want to stop England. So this game in St Gallen on Sunday, we've got it live on talkSPORT. I think it's going to be really competitive. But if England play like they did yesterday, the Welsh definitely cannot live with them, and it could be a demolition job.
Nice one, Adrian. Have a nice time over there. You're right, it's very expensive.
Yeah, it is.
But Switzerland, talk about cleanness. But they all go. They get up really early in the morning, go to work, and they're in bed at 9 o'clock at night.
Well, like normal people.
No.
That's not normal for you.
What, 9 o'clock? Get up and laugh. 9, you don't go to bed at 9 o'clock.
You was in bed by 9 last night.
Yeah, but that was a one-off.
That's normal people.
No, it's not normal.
No, I'm not having that.
I'm not normal. Coming up, Palace fans. Reports in the papers this morning suggest you could drop down to the Europa League due to John Texas dual ownership of Palace and Lyon. How unfair is that? I think it's bang out of order. 03717 223344. That's the number to call to have your say. John Texas on with the 10 o'clock show today. So come on and give us your thoughts on this. What's a crazy story?
plays that villain role very well now. That's crying out for a little bit more attention. It comes with a lot of crazy people. I took it personally and it kind of made me rebel a bit more. To be honest, I don't really care anymore. I'm never going to change.
Adrian Durham, he loves his football, doesn't he? He'll go anywhere.
Go anywhere. I think he just likes the holidays.
Do you reckon?
It's a cooler holiday, isn't it? Because he's broadcasting, to be honest. He is broadcasting, but he loves his work, doesn't he?
This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Carlton Cole alongside me now. Chelsea and PSG will contest the first ever final of FIFA's expanded Club World Cup, live on talkSPORT Network. So what chance are Londoners against this, well, Parisian machine? João Pedro will be hoping to have a big say in his proceeding. By the way, what about his 2 goals? Crackers, eh?
Crackers.
Yeah. We were joined by former Chelsea defender Mario Melchior from Amsterdam yesterday, who loves this signing.
What I like about Pedro was his confidence. If you saw one of the first interviews that he had when he was a Chelsea player, you could see the smile and the confidence that he was boosting in himself and saying, like, I can do the job. Look, I think strikers, when they come to a team, it doesn't always have to be the name that banged in so many goals. Because when you come to a top team, you're going to get more opportunities. The key thing is going to be, are you going to be delivering it? He started off great. I mean, 2 goals straight away in his first start. It's amazing. And with the ones that you highlighted, look, when you are a Jackson, I always said it last season, I said competition is needed. They brought competition, Jackson, Pedro.
What about you've got Delap in there as well?
Delap is
who I
brilliant
strong,
puts
himself about.
You see his goal the other day as well. The way he brought it in. The time.
He's like that.
It's lovely.
He's got,
I forgot you're a tractor boy. You're a tractor boy.
No, I've been impressed with him, but he's now suspended, thinking, crikey, look at them 2 goals. Yeah. So there's a real battle for positions,
and that's the way it's supposed to be. Like that's like the old school days.
Tell me about Jackson, right? Because he's a game boy. He's quick. He's a little bit. He loses concentration when he's always offside when he's wide. You just got to look along the line, Carlton, have you? And that's frustrating. But the biggest problem he's got is I think he scores probably 1 every 4 chances. Yeah. And that's not good enough when you're getting so many chances
at that level. Because you're getting opportunities left, right, and centre. So you've got to make sure that you at least have a 50% ratio. 2, if you're going to miss out of 4, you got to put 2 away. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you're going to get the chances. So I'm looking at him and I'm thinking he's well under pressure. What told me that he was under pressure the other day is when he had a chance to square it to Cole Palmer, and he went for the shot because he needs to get his numbers up. He needs to be in that key number one striker, because you know as soon as João Pedro comes in, you know the lap. These are guys that will put the pressure on. So now he's under big pressure and the thing about it, when I look at these players, I really feel that they don't need to just score goals. If you're assisting like the main man, which is Cole Palmer, he's going to want you to play because you're playing for him. So sometimes you have to look at it from a different angle if you're a striker.
Yeah. Okay, Ollie Klink's here. Why are you smiling? What have you got up your sleeve?
We're chatting about a famous Scot that you must love at the moment, Scott McTominay.
What a season.
What a season at Napoli.
Oh, mate, did you see his clubber the other day when he was at Wimbledon?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the thing.
He's gone all Italian.
Has he?
A Scotsman in an Italian fit.
Well, we got a lot of Italians in Scotland.
Oh no, but he's got the hair. It's all slicked back. It's like I was so impressed with him. I was like, he's really taken to the culture.
By the way, he is a hero in Naples. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
well, the next coming, isn't he?
Yeah, I tell you what. Well, he was talking to Nick Kyrgios, who's got his unfiltered podcast with talkSPORT.
Nice guy.
Yeah. Very nice guy. And he was talking to Nick about those Napoli fans. Here's what he had to say.
No, it's amazing. The people there are incredibly passionate and they drive us through every single game, and they're probably some of the best fans that I've ever played in front of, because every game that we turn up, the fire in them to push the team and to help and stuff like that it's incredible, man. Like, honestly, for me, like, going there, the love and support that they give to the whole team, not just individuals, is special.
Well, he doesn't look as if he's just walked out of a bar in Altrincham, does he?
He looks like he's about to go on a super yacht. Looks like he's about to go on a super yacht, doesn't he? Just get the boat shoes out and he's ready to go. He looks a contrast to what Nick Carragher looks like. He's got his hood up.
Oh, you like him, by the way, you like him.
Of course I'd like him. I like his boys.
Yeah, it looks unbelievably sharp. But
but he's got to be pinching himself, Scott.
Oh, 100%. Do you know some of the nicknames that the fans have got for him as well? They're so good.
Go on.
You got one that's like McFratum, which in Italian is like McBro. They call him McTerminator. And then I've got another one. This is in Italian as well. You guys are going to guess what this one means.
Go
on. It's Apri Bottigli. I think that's probably
Bottigli. Is that Apri? Is that with?
Not quite.
Bottigli.
Yeah.
Is that and something to do?
I'll tell you what. I'll give you a clue. Al is going to love this nickname. Nearly there.
Something to do with a bottle.
It's bottle opener.
Bottle opener.
Yeah.
Oh,
because he always scores the first goal. So they started calling him the bottle opener.
That's one of them ones there.
Yeah.
But,
I'll do that one there. There it is. First bottle opener.
You can't make it up what's happened. And Billy's well alongside him's had a great season. Billy.
Yeah.
So, I'm delighted for them. I really am, because... Manchester United must be saying,
what's going on?
How are we letting
Is it us?
go? Yeah.
Is it us?
I think the answer is it is us.
Do you know what's interesting is that Jack Grealish has also been linked with Napoli, and that man needs a move. Surely he's looking at McTominay, Colton, and going, get me over there.
I remember the days when being a British footballer, going abroad. I don't know for Scots, for Welsh players, you was doing that quite a lot, but from the UK, for me, I would find it really, really difficult. But he's had history. There's people that's done it before.
Trevor Francis.
Yeah.
Right?
See also, yeah.
Mark Hateley.
But it's rare.
Mark Hateley scored a crack on the Milan derby.
Yeah.
A great
Ray
goal.
Wilkins as well.
Ray.
Yeah.
Liam Brady. Okay, he's Irish,
Paul Ince
but
went over there.
Liam was brilliant. And we've missed one or two others out.
Definitely. Yeah.
But look, what I'm trying to say is that it takes some steel to make that leap,
especially Napoli. They don't
mess around. They know their football, didn't they? And and the way they're heralding him like he's the next coming, he's done really, really well. And I've watched a few games.
What about Jack? Right, it's a good point.
Yeah, Jack.
What about Jack? Jack's got to move now. He's got to move on.
Yeah, he definitely has, because I don't think he's got a place in the Manchester City team now. But where does he move? I know Jack's a little bit of a homeboy, isn't he? Though he's will he have that character to go abroad and go and do?
Are you saying he might go back to Villa?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, is he going to be happy moving abroad without his niceties around him?
Would he fit in Newcastle? Because Jack carries the ball brilliantly.
Yeah, but the position that he'll go at Newcastle, we've got Gordon there already. So that wouldn't be a real good fit. He'll just be jumping in from one area to another place where
you don't think Jack could play off the striker? Isak?
I think. Do you know what I think, Jack? I think he's a free spirit. Someone has to take. If he goes into a lesser team, he can run the game. He's a player that needs to run the game. I think a lot has been taken out of his game going to Manchester City, because he's had to fill a hole for somebody. He was playing percentages. How many times do I get fouled in the opposition's half? He was always going down, wasn't he? Remember? And he was the most foul player in the Premier League for quite a while. Now, I want to see him be himself again and carry the ball. I remember when he was playing for Villa, he was carrying the ball from the centre halves all the way up the field and then making things happen. I haven't seen that once in the last 2-3 years.
No, it's almost as if he's, don't do too much. You've got great players around you, give them the ball.
Exactly.
Yeah. I tell you what, you guys were talking about McTominay's style. He was also talking to Nick Kyrgios about attending Wimbledon. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, it was our first time, obviously, and whenever I watch it on the TV, obviously, I've watched Nick for numerous amounts of years now, so the speed is totally different when you see it live, and you see the power, the precision, everything. It's totally different to anything you could ever expect when you go and watch it, so for us, it went too quick. When we turned up, we had a nice bit of lunch and stuff like that, and then by the time you know it, you're going home and coming to use and going back to Manchester.
I'm just trying to think, did Graham Souness win a Serie A I'll just say many Scottish players in the Nationals have won Serie A. I'm not sure he did.
Are you sure? He might have done.
He might
have
done.
Was it?
Can we get some facts on that one?
Yeah. Any chance, Ollie? No.
When's the next Grand Prix?
He's not even listening. He's not even listening.
No, I don't mean you. I mean that.
No. I think he might have, but I think I'd have heard more about it if he did.
Graham won most things.
He did.
All right, Ollie, thank you. Coming up, we're going to ask the question with the third test between England and India getting underway today at Lord's. Have they brought Jofra Archer back too soon? We'll find out next from his coach at Sussex, Paul Fabrice.
The Euros defence is back on for the Lionesses. They whimpered against France, but came roaring back against the Netherlands. 4-0 in the end, and Sarina Wiegman's happy with the response from her players.
I'm very happy with the performance. I think we bounced back really well from France. Of course, we were not really happy with that performance. Reviewed, we had conversations, and how the team responded today was really good. And I think we played a lot better.
Goals from Lauren James, Georgia Stanway and Ella Toone did the business. But on the full-time phone-in, former Lioness Jordan Hobbs says Alessia Russo was the standout performer.
You look at the last game, she was so isolated, and today, she had so many more bodies around her, and that's why she's ended up either creating chances for herself. She's obviously set up Ella Toone for one of the goals, and, with Alessia Russo, I think people don't appreciate probably how much she holds the ball up and allows players to get up the field and create chances for England.
Champions League winners PSG are through to the Club World Cup final after demolishing Real Madrid 4-0. They'll take on Conference League winners Chelsea. Dean Ashton was on commentary for talkSPORT. He predicts a tough night for the Blues.
I think they're just too well oiled. They've got too many talented players and off the bench. But I'm really fascinated to see where Chelsea are at and just whether they can cope defensively with what PSG have got to offer. I think it makes for a terrific final.
I like that.
Do you?
Who's that?
It sounds like the Shadows to me, but I don't know who it is. Who is it?
I like that.
I don't know.
It's internal.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Build your own car deal online, all with a few clicks that make buying your next car easy. Carlton's alongside me, Carlton Cole. It's time to get an update on the rugby in partnership with Tenamen.
Qatar Airways Lions Tour Roundup on talkSPORT with coverage sponsored by Tenamen. Show nothing but confidence this summer. Choose boxer shorts with built-in protection for drips and dribbles. Visit tenamen.co.uk today.
Now, the British and Irish Lions outscored the Brumbies 5-4 in Canberra in the fourth straight victory on Aussie soil. The tour all started with a defeat to Argentina in Dublin. Here's head coach Andy Farrell on whether he's seen enough improvement since that opening game.
We get a good blend of different stuff every single week that gets thrown at us, and it's good preparation for what's going to be a fantastic first test in 10 days' time. So I thought our game control was pretty good tonight, which allowed us to keep the pressure on in the right end of the field. So that's a nice step forward.
Well, the Brumbies are a decent side. I don't know if you watched it, Carlton. The Lions great with the ball in hand, attacking, brilliant.
I didn't watch it, but
they concede, and it's still he's not got it right yet, Andy, and hopefully he will have for this first test. But the Aussies themselves are not fantastic, so it's going to be a cracking game. I said before I think it'll be 2-1 to the Lions. A lot of people say it'll be a 3-0 drubbing. I'm not so sure about that. We'll wait and see. But I'm really looking forward to it. I really am. Don't forget the talkSPORT network has been your home of the Lions for the last 12 years, and this year is no different. We've been and will continue to bring you live and exclusive commentary of every single Lions game of the tour. That includes all 3 test matches, which are just over, a week away. Brilliant. Don't forget you can get the latest news and reaction every day on Lions Uncaged over in talkSPORT 2. Right, we're going to be joined by Jason Robinson around 8:30 on talkSPORT live in the studio. That was a thanks to Tenamen.
Qatar Airways Lions Tour Roundup on talkSPORT with coverage sponsored by Tenamen. Show nothing but confidence this summer. Choose boxer shorts with built-in protection for drips and dribbles. Visit tenamen.co.uk today.
What?
I like that, Tenamen.
Do you?
Yeah. Shall I tell you why?
Go on.
Mate, so I was in Glastonbury, right?
Yeah.
And the toilets are so far away. So I'm there trying to hold my wee in for quite a while and trying to, you're in the middle of a melee. Yeah. And you've got to try and get out of the crowd to go for a wee.
Yeah.
That would have been brilliant for me, Tenamen. Then the little drips and dribbles I had, you wouldn't know. You know what I mean? It's like padding, apparently, isn't it? So I need to invest in that. Great boxer shorts.
But really, you've got what miles, have you?
Yeah, I've got a weak bladder. Yeah, I've got a weak bladder, and the toilets, not miles, but it's just it's just too far to get to through the melee of people, and then to hold your wee in, and then obviously get there, and then as you get closer to the toilet, it starts to come out even more, and then that's when you need.
Well,
that's when you need the Tenamen.
You've got a strong will.
I don't. That's the problem. I don't have the strong will.
Just say, I don't need one. I don't need one. I don't need one.
Yeah, does that work for you?
Yeah.
Mine's there's the guy on my shoulder saying you do need to go to the toilet. The other guy on my shoulder, you ain't got enough. You haven't got the strength, mate.
I think your days at Glastonbury are over.
Just because of that.
Now, the 5 test series between England and India gets back underway at Lord's this morning. The sides are locked at 1-1 after Shubman Gill's heroics at Edgbaston saw his side romp to a 3-3-6 run victory. He's been brilliant, by the way. But good news, England fans, Jofra Archer will be making his first test appearance in 4 years, can you believe? Here's Ben Stokes talking about Archer's return with talkSPORT's Johnny Norman.
Incredibly exciting for England cricket fans, but most importantly I think it's great for Jofra that he's been adamant since his injury problems that this is where he wanted to be back in. You know, he wanted to be out on the field playing for England again, and then, you know, when he eventually got back out on the field playing for England, his next goal was to get back into a physical position where he could play and be in contention for Test cricket. So now that day's finally here, it's amazing for us as his teammates, but also for him. And yeah, look, I think skill that Joff possesses, we all know what that is. It's all pretty obvious. I think we know what to expect. Well, what we will expect from Joff, which is incredibly skillful and times where he bowls the absolute speed of light. You know, he's a game changer. He's got all the attributes to be one of the all-time greats.
There you go. Right, let's build up to what should be, I think, a brilliant first day's play at Lord's. The weather's going to be beautiful as well, with former England coach Paul Fabrace. Paul, a very good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
Good morning, Paul.
Paul, look, I can't wait for this. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. On Jofra now, Jofra should know his body by now, and if he said, I'm ready, I'm fit, then you got to go with that. Are you worried that England are bringing him back slightly too early?
No, definitely not. Look, I think the big thing is, well, he hasn't played Test cricket for 4 years, but he has been playing cricket, and he knows his action, he knows his body. He played in a game for us up at Durham 2 weeks ago, was outstanding, bowled 18 overs with the red ball, was absolutely superb. I think, you know, you two would know, when you've been injured as a sportsman or woman, that it's actually the psychological barrier of when you come back. And he is absolutely raring to go. I saw him 2 days ago. He was here training with us. He was absolutely brilliant. He's really looking forward to playing. His confidence is high. And when you've got someone like him who's a real Rolls Royce of fast bowling, you want him on the field and playing for you.
Yeah.
He's one of those players that can just because he's got those skills. He can do what most people can't. He's just gonna be a massive cog in the wheel for you. Are you really glad that you've got him back in the fold?
Oh, absolutely, Carl. Look, he is absolute quality. He will change games. He's got that ability to bowl at 90 miles an hour. Now, he's not going to bowl every ball at 95 miles an hour, but he will be able to bowl spells that will change games. And I think that's the thing that England will be excited to have him back in the team. He's excited to play. His confidence is absolutely sky high. And look, you've played the game yourself. There are risks to anybody taking the field, but there's risk to crossing the road. So, if you stop doing it, you wouldn't take a risk at all. So the bloke's raring to go. He's a game changer, and you can hear from Ben Stokes there. He's absolutely excited to have him back in.
Buzzing.
Paul, I remember a few years ago, a pal of mine, and this is remarkable. He says, we've got a guy here bowling for the Horsham Cricket Club, right?
Yeah, that's
Horsham.
right, yeah.
And he said he's going to play for England. I said, you're off your head. Have you had a few pints? He says, no, he's going to play for England. I said, don't be stupid, Ozzy, you're talking rubbish. And there he was, Jofra Archer. I can't believe it.
Well, Ozzy's right, isn't he? Ozzy's obviously a good judge. I might give him a call and see if he's got any more for me.
No, Paul, you don't trust me, you don't want to. He'll drive you mad.
Well, if he likes a pint, I might take a set of those other pints that Carlton was talking about. I was chuckling listening to Carlton, to be fair, because I'm at a certain age as well, so I was thinking I might have to have a pair of them as well.
Oh, mate, I'm telling you, it's not a bad idea.
Paul, just today with Lords, look, we've not seen the wicket yet, but should England, in conditions, it's going to be warm, I think there's going to be a bit of cloud about, should they put the Indians into bat first, or should they ever go first?
Lords is always the ground where you look up, not down. So it's a very well-known fact in England. If you're playing at Lords and it's overcast and cloudy, you always bowl. If it's a beautiful sunny day, you have a bat and you put pressure on. It's really interesting because the England team love chasing, don't they? They love chasing any score. Obviously, the 600 was beyond them the other day in Edgbaston. But this England team are fearless, and that they'll chase anything. They'll give anything a go. If it's a hot, sunny day, I would expect England to bat first, put a big score on the board and put India under scoreboard pressure. And I think that's the best way to bounce back when you just lost the previous Test match.
Paul, do you think Zach Crawley is under pressure to keep his place in the Test side? Do you think?
Yeah? Definitely. He absolutely can't. Okay. Of course he is. But the big thing with this England team, and Ben Stokes as a captain, is he sticks by people. He plays people people, and even if they get into a tough spell of form, he sticks by them. And that's what creates the ability for the England team to go and play this no-fear cricket that they play. Because if you're constantly dropping people, players are never going to play without fear. And again, you know, when you play at the highest level, it's easy to talk about playing without fear, but actually to do it is a really tough thing. And if you're inconsistent with your selection, you keep dropping people will play with fear. So the best way to take the fear out is to say to people, you're playing the whole series, don't matter if you get 3 noughts on the bounce, you will still play. And I really admire that about this England selection, that they actually stick by their players. So even though Zach hasn't scored loads of runs, and a lot of critics suggest he's lucky to be playing, that's what allows him then to go and play an unbelievable innings. He could easily go out today at Lords, smash 100 off 70 balls, and we'll say, what a great selection. Because they stand by their players.
Yeah. So, Paul, next time you're at a big concert like Carlton, then, where he was talking about Glastonbury, Oasis, and Can't Get the Loo, next time you're watching Neil Diamond, just get near the toilet, men's toilets, mate.
I will be. I'll be getting the number of the company. Don't you worry about that.
Paul, great to talk. Talk later. Enjoy the test. Thank you.
Cheers, Paul.
Thank you, Andrew. Have a good day.
Brilliant. Paul Fabris there, current Sussex coach. That's a true story about Horsham, honestly. Yeah. Okay, still to come on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. From excavators to skips or cement mixers to pressure washers, Travis Perkins Hire has all your landscaping needs covered.
Crystal Palace fans, 03 717 223344 is the number to call us. After Lyon, they won their appeal to stay in the Europa League. It's been reported that you could drop down to the Conference League due to the multi-club ownership rules, with Forest jumping above you to the Europa League. Sort of forgot about Forest. Great news for them if that happens. From playing Seville to Shamrock Rovers, is that fair? How ridiculous is that you don't know what competition you're in next season? It is ridiculous. With so many owners owning multi-clubs, is this rule nonsense? It should be stopped. 03 717 223344. We're taking your calls this morning. There's Palace legend John Salako joins us at 8 o'clock. Not spoke to John for a while. Looking forward to that. And John Texter joins talkSPORT from 10 this morning. Palace fans, would you want to ask him? Let us know. That was a look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. It's easy to hire at Travis Perkins with a Travis Perkins trade account.
He plays that villain role very well now. That's crying out for a little bit more attention. It comes with a lot of crazy people. I took it personally and it kind of made me rebel a bit more. To be honest, I don't really care anymore. I'm never going to change.
Okay, 11 minutes before 8 o'clock. Carlton Cole alongside me. Some of the headlines you're waking up to this morning. Crystal Palace face being booted into the Conference League after Lyon won their appeal against relegation from the French top flight. The man at the centre of all the chaos, John Textor, will be live in the studio with White and Jordan from 10 a.m. That's a must listen if you're a Palace fan. Christian Horner was reportedly in tears when he found out he'd been sacked by Red Bull. The news reportedly came as a massive shock to the former team principal. And Novak Djokovic reached his 14th Wimbledon semi-final yesterday. Absolutely brilliant. A 3-1 victory over Kaboli yesterday. Djokovic, what a star he is, by the way. He was on the verge of victory when he suffered a nasty fall. Djokovic prompting Kaboli to rush over to the other side of the court and help. Here's Djokovic after getting the job done.
Of course, Wimbledon is, still remains, and always will be the most special tournament that we have in our sport. I mean, at least in my opinion, I think in many players' opinion, and of course, it means the world to me that I'm still able at 38 to play final stages of Wimbledon. You know, the tournament that I always. Thank you for cheering for my age. I really appreciate it. It's beautiful. Makes me feel very young. I guess another thing that makes me feel very young is competing with youngsters, you know, like Kaboli today. You know, he's who knows how many years younger than me, and you know, I enjoy kind of sliding and running around the court with him and with all the other guys. Speaking of the young guys, you know, I'm going to have Sinner in the next round, so I look forward to that. That's going to be a great matchup.
What a game. By the way, you know, when you talk about superstars, he's one of them for me.
He is.
You know, his will to win is sensational.
Yeah.
I find that with Croats and Serbs. They've got that grit. They're so hungry and desire to win. Yeah. But that guy, it wouldn't surprise me if he beat Sinner. Sinner, not? I watched Sinner the other day. He was magnificent, but Djokovic, he's just got that killer instinct in him.
You're not bet against Djokovic. Djokovic knows how to win.
Sinner's world number one, though, isn't he? And you have Alcaraz as well.
Alcaraz is unbelievable. Yeah. I've seen a Djokovic Alcaraz final.
Do you really?
Yeah, that's what I see. Yeah. It was the same final last year, wasn't it? As well.
Yeah. Are you a tennis fan?
Alcaraz, not really, but I do take. Like I do like watching it on the TV. I want to go to Wimbledon. That's my next. I'm going. I'm going to.
Speak to your agent.
I'm going to England, India on Friday. You know, at Lord's.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go and watch that. But I want to go to Wimbledon probably next year now. But I'm gonna. Alcaraz is such a talent. Sinner's unbelievable. Obviously, we know that. But Djokovic, I think you'll just got lead by experience and win that game.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Time now. What time is it? 7:52. Time now for this.
Stick a load of singles in there, and then they fall in love.
Of course, it's hard. It's supposed to be hard.
A 36-year-old, you'll have the knockers. She will.
Just because it's offering its teat, do I really have to muscle on that?
Is there anything in your personal life that could be causing you stress, sir?
I'm not a great lover.
Oh, that's
your name?
Sarah Louise.
Sarah Louise. Crikey, you're up for it, aren't you?
I was in love at the time. That's what I was doing.
At the time.
Right, a man who loves the apps, Ollie Klink, is back with us.
The app man.
The app man. Yeah, this is Transfer Tinder, boys.
Whose idea was this?
We looked to match some players with a new club.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got a few profiles for you. First up, Noni Madueke. He's 23. He's 6 foot. Mikel Arteta really fancies him. He's currently with Chelsea. He's right wing. But he wants a big spender who's going to splash 50 million on him.
But that's normal now, though, isn't it? Around 50 mil for a top Premier player.
The only thing is, though, that would he be coming in as backup for Saka? Is it worth spending 50 million on that?
Yeah, it is. If it's gonna, because listen, we saw when Saka came out the team last season, it really affected him. So you probably look at having to spend that type of money to get the same. Not the same level, but close to it. That would be willing to accept coming second fiddle to a Saka, because Saka's unbelievable, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He is indeed.
If I was him, I wouldn't go.
Really?
No.
Is that what? Because of lack of game time?
Correct.
Yeah.
So I'm swiping left.
You're swiping left. Where are you swiping, Colin?
I'm swiping right.
Swiping right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going.
You've got a match.
There we go. Do you get a lot of matches, Colin? Or?
Only my missus nowadays.
Fair enough. Right, next one for you, boys. Johan Wissa. He's 28. He's currently based in Brentford, West London. 5'10".
Good player.
Very good player. His ex, Thomas Frank, is after him at Spurs for Euro Disco Wednesday nights in North London. I mean, he scores a lot, though. 19 last season. 19 goals.
He was up there.
But again, it's funny with him, isn't it? Like, would he be going as a backup? Because they've got Solanke at Spurs too. If you're a number 9, which both of you have been, do you go and be that second striker at a bigger club?
Yeah, but you don't go there to be a second striker. You think you're going in, no, I'm better than him.
Listen, every striker, you know how it is. You go in there, you think I'm the boy. He's gonna have to. I'm the new signing. He's gonna have to shift me.
Yeah,
that's the way you go. It's like a boxer going into a ring. I'm not comparing us to boxers. I know you was a great striker, but it's that kind of mentality. No one can get in the way of me if I'm on my game. You know, and that's the way you're supposed to look at it. So no, you go in there for the competition.
And actually, could he be better than Solanke? Could he take that spot? Do you think?
I think they're different players. Solanke's a number 9 kind of hold up the ball.
He's an inside forward.
He's an inside forward and he runs beyond. You know, Solanke's not that player, so they could actually play together really well.
It could work. Yeah, it could work.
Which way are you swiping now?
I'll go right.
Go right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm swiping right.
Swiping right again, Colin.
Yeah.
You're on fire.
I love it.
Next up for you, boys, Jadon Sancho. He's 25, 5'11". He's desperate to get out of a toxic relationship with Manchester United. Yeah. And there's an old lady who's interested in him because Juventus are after him.
Oh, it's got good legs. Good legs.
And fairly cheap date now. He's only going to cost you around 25 million.
God,
would that be a good move for Sancho, Juve?
I think he had his best time at Dortmund, didn't he?
Yeah.
Go back there.
Yeah, if I was him, I'd go there. So
you can't do that. Third time round.
Yeah, but
3 times.
Because they love him there. You know, and
that means
he feels comfortable.
That means you can only work at Dortmund. But I think the back end of last season, I think he done alright for Chelsea. I think he done alright. So you probably want to look elsewhere now and say, do you know what, I fancy a bit. I see what Scott McTominay's doing. I fancy a bit of
abroad.
It's Juventus, right? Juventus. Italian, yeah.
I've not seen too much of Italian football.
You know, a bit of Turin.
Oh no, it's beautiful there. Don't get me wrong. So look, it's a great place to play football.
Yeah.
But is Juve going to be up there fighting for the top?
Does it matter for him? Doesn't matter, does it? It's the culture, the lifestyle. Playing week in, week out.
You want to go there with a chance of winning something, Come on.
I think he just wants to play now and be at home somewhere. That's all he needs. I'm swiping right.
Swiping right, Al?
No, I'm going left.
Oh. Stay where you are. Man United, stay there in the rocks.
No, I'm going left.
3 out of 3 for Garland.
Hey, Cal, you need another P. Go on. Coming up, Palace fans. We'll bring you everything you need to know about the news that you could drop down the Conference League from Roma to Bodo Glimt. How gutting is that for you if it does happen? We'll discuss that one next. Ollie, thank you.
Euros defence is back on for the Lionesses. They whimpered against France, but came roaring back against the Netherlands. 4-0 in the end, and Sarina Wiegman's happy with the response from her players.
I'm very happy with the performance. I think we bounced back really well from France. Of course, we were not really happy with that performance. We had conversations, and how the team responded today was really good, and I think we played a lot better.
Goals from Lauren James, Georgia Stanway and Ella Toon did the business. But on the full-time phone-in, former Lioness Jordan Hobbs says Alessia Russo was the standout performer.
You look at the last game, she was so isolated, and today, she had so many more bodies around her, and that's why she's ended up either creating chances for herself. She's obviously set up Ella Toon for one of the goals, and, with Alessia Russo, I think people don't appreciate probably how much she holds the ball up and allows players to get up the field and create chances for England.
Just the 3 assists for Russo, and agonisingly, another disallowed goal. A win against Wales means the Lionesses will qualify for the quarter-final. Champions League winners PSG are through to the Club World Cup final after demolishing Real Madrid 4-0. They'll take on Conference League winners Chelsea. Dean Ashton was on commentary for talkSPORT. He predicts a tough night for the Blues.
I think they're just too well oiled. They've got too many talented players and off the bench. But I'm really fascinated to see where Chelsea are at and just whether they can cope defensively with what PSG have got to offer. I think it makes for a terrific final.
That final will be live on talkSPORT from the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey on Sunday night. The third test gets underway against India at Lords this morning, and after 4 years away, Jofra Archer is finally back in the test side. Ben Stokes told us he cannot wait to see him back in action.
Now that day's finally here, it's amazing for us as his teammates, but also for him. And skill that Joff possesses, we all know what that is. Incredibly skillful, and times where he bowls the absolute speed of light. He's a game changer. He's got all the attributes to be one of the all-time greats.
Remember, we'll be bringing you live updates from Lords throughout the day.
Just gone 3 minutes past 8 o'clock. talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Build your own car deal online, all with a few clicks. They make buying your next car easy peasy. Alan Brazil and Carlton Cole with you on the way for you this morning. We're going to be joined right here in the studio by 2003 Rugby World Cup winner Jason Robinson as the Lions get closer to the first test against Australia. Legendary England coach David Lloyd will give us thoughts on Jofra Archer making his first test appearance in 4 years this morning. And former Haas team principal Gunther Steiner will react to the news that Red Bull have sacked Christian Horner after 20 years in charge. Now though, 46 days on from the last Premier League game of the season, we're still none the wiser as to which European competition Palace and Forest will compete in. Here's talkSPORT's Max Scott with everything you need to know about this weird, extraordinary case.
So Crystal Palace's European future is still very much in the hands of UEFA. On Wednesday, Lyon's appeal against their relegation from Ligue 1 was successful, meaning they keep their place in France's top flight. Crucially, that also means they'll hold on to their spot in the Europa League thanks to their 6th place finish last season. But it does mean Palace's position is still precarious. The man at the centre of this storm, of course, is John Textor. He's since resigned from his shareholder role at Palace and stepped back from the day-to-day running of Lyon. But at the time of both clubs' qualification to the Europa League, he was involved in both clubs, and UEFA say that breached their multi-club ownership rules. They essentially blocked 2 clubs from being allowed to compete in the same competition. There's so many questions for Palace fans at the minute. Why didn't Textor and the top brass at Palace resolve overlapping ownership issues by UEFA's deadline of March the 1st? Why are UEFA even considering kicking Palace out of the Europa League when John Textor's involvement in the club was so minimal? And how has he let both clubs get into such precarious positions? Well, he's going to be joining Jim White and Simon Jordan live on talkSPORT this morning to answer those very questions himself. Now, it's still unclear what UEFA will do here, but they do have to make a decision. If Lyon were relegated, it would have been easy for Palace to stay in the tournament without any rule breaches taking place. So here's the possible outcomes of this astonishing case. If they rule against Palace, Nottingham Forest will be bumped up to Europe's 2nd tier. Or UEFA could be kind and allow Palace to stay in the Europa League as we all expected at the conclusion of last season. But in an even more shocking turn of events, UEFA could also decide to kick Palace out of Europe entirely, meaning arch rivals Brighton would qualify for the Conference League. We'll get Textor's view on all of this when he joins Jim and Simon later this morning.
Oh, I forgot about that Brighton one.
Oh, imagine Brighton getting in as well. That'll hurt, wouldn't it? The fans they wouldn't be happy, would they?
Pleased to say we're now joined by Palace legend with a microphone in his hand, Karaoke King John Salako. John, how are we, pal?
Karaoke King.
Morning, guys. You gotta stop all that Brighton talk.
How you doing, John? I think the last time I saw you was at when you gave us a beating at at the Hammers. I saw you in the box, didn't I? How are you?
No, brilliant. Our away form was absolutely sensational.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Carlton, I mean, West Ham were terrible at home. And again, that was another bit of a gift. But look, it was such a special, incredible end to the season. Obviously, winning the FA Cup was just an absolute fairy tale for Palace. Typical us, typical. You know, we always have to do it the hard way. And it looks a mess. And one thing people may be overlooking here, like I was involved in that side in '91 that finished 3rd. I don't even remember. Liverpool were banned after the Heysel Stadium disaster, and UEFA. We finished 3rd and should have been in the Champions League, or should we say in the European Cup. They allowed Liverpool back in, so UEFA have got history of screwing us over.
Well, how do you see this going, John? So Forest could get an upgrade, Brighton could get an upgrade, Palace could be kicked out totally.
Wow.
What's your gut feeling?
Do you know what? Every Palace fan's just got everything crossed. We're hoping and praying that it's going to be okay. Look, Marinakis at Forest has done everything to push Forest forward. He obviously got his he changed ownership. I think he put it in some sort of special trust to his son, all the Forest shares. And then sort of kept Olympiacos. So look, we're not used to being in Europe. I know the fans are absolutely looking forward to it. It'll be a dream come true to be in there. Obviously Josh Woody Johnson has come in, the owner of New York Jets. So that he's going to look like he's going to buy Textor's shares, so that could really take the club forward. So everything just looks so positive, but I don't know. UEFA, obviously if they're sticking to the ruling, they're going to say, look, you should have got your house in order by the 1st of March. You should have known this was coming, or at least anticipated it. Or they can say, oh, look, Textor's not really involved, and he's got a lot of commitment. Steve Parish, who's doing a fabulous job, he runs Palace. Look, let's just run with this. So hopefully, fingers crossed. But the fact that it's sort of running on and it's been delayed, and Lyon have now won that appeal, and the top flight doesn't look good.
Does this put a slight on multi-club owners? Because when you're looking at this now, although that they've got the best intentions, they want to get the clubs, their respective clubs, into European competitions. Is this a massive lesson and a massive learning curve for multi-club owners? And is this the way forward, or is it just, do you think they just need to just own one club and that's it, and then you build on that?
Yeah, brilliant question, Carlton. It's something that's on our lips. It's an elephant in the room. You know, all these billionaires, they set up these funds and they just buy up clubs around the world and sporting entities. You know, the Saudis do it, you know, the Qataris do it, and these billionaires around the world, you know, the Man United ownership, Fulham ownership, and as much as they you know, they're bringing big money into the Premier League, and it is the biggest league in the world, and you know, it's bludgeoning on. But yeah, that has got to be addressed. I mean, you know, the Marinakis of this world, and you know, I don't know where it ends, and the Premier League really need to address that. But you know, while you know, so the making hay while the sun's shining, and I can really understand them wanting this massive investment coming in, and it's the tough one.
John, I would imagine as well the likes of Eze, who's a great player, and Gay, you know, this could really point to where their future is, how this decision goes.
Absolutely. I think that's something that I think is they're waiting on, really. Obviously, as I said, Woody Johnson's come in, who's going to come in and say, I'm going to put big investment in. I think what Oliver Glasner would have been saying to the boys is, look, you know, we won the FA Cup, we stick together, we go again, we go into Europa League, and let's see what we can do. You know, it's a tight squad, but if that will be a hammer blow if we don't get into Europe. And I'm sure Eze's, he wants to win things, Gay wants to win things, Mateta and the boys, and it would be perfect for us to be in Europe and just go again, and you know, Palace go on a European tour. But if it doesn't happen, that's going to be a tough conversation all round.
By the way, he was good last year, wasn't he, the centre forward?
Oh, Mateta. Mateta. Yeah.
Well, he come on a ton, John, didn't he? And
he was like Carlton Cole in his height, Alan.
Mate, I did see a little bit of me in him. Like, I'm not going to lie, I was looking at him and thinking, I like that player. There's something about him. Then I looked at my games and I was like,
Carlton, he's quick.
That's me.
No, he's quick.
Oh, yeah, I was quicker than that.
Carlton, you've coached Carlton. I don't know what Oliver Glasner's done, but since he came in at the end of that season, Mateta 13-13, and then just that aggression, that power he's running, that belief in himself, and you know, that desire to score goals and the line. He's a great lad in the dressing room. He's funny, you know, but you know, he's a real big character. But you know, as a centre forward, you just want to go out there and you want to be powerhouse and you want to score goals. I mean,
John, I watched him when he was younger for France under 21s, and he was a powerhouse then. I was thinking this boy might have a future if he gets it right. He just it was like me back in the day as well. It was I just needed an arm around me and just say, listen, you're going on the right path. And then I think that's what Glasner's done for him. I think he's just said, listen, you're my main man. Everything's going to go through you. You're going to occupy 2 or 3 defenders, and then you're going to create space for others. Also, he's added to his game. He's shooting from outside the box. He's a handful. And it's more than a handful because he's doing it with class as well. His end product's been unbelievable lately. So he's onward and upwards with it. He'll be looking at this saying this is another opportunity to be seen in Europe, and that's what he wants, because that's where. But if he doesn't get that, he'll be looking at this as a big disappointment.
Well, do you know what? It will be, but it's still you're obviously playing in the Premier League and looking to finish in the top half and getting into Europe
so
again.
Hard.
Exciting, but it is difficult. But you know, the whole team, you know, the way the wing backs bomb forward, Nunes obviously right, you know, Mitchell on the left, and obviously you know, the team's flying, and it will be a massive blow if we don't get into Europe. But let's stay on the positive side. I think this is going to go our way. Come on, we've got Liverpool in that Community Shield.
It's my local team, John. It's my local team.
John, my last question is, where is it today? Golf course, Lords, Wimbledon, or the Ned?
Oh, do you know what? Wimbledon would be lovely, but no, it's Hever Castle today for a bit of golf day. So I'm running late now that you've on it, but I don't mind speaking to you, Alan.
John, take care. Have a great day. Thanks, pal.
Cheers, John.
Bless you. Thank you.
Nice
Cheers,
one.
Take care.
Coming up, we turn attention to Carlton's range of vocabulary.
Oh, no, we don't hear
and
again.
hear more stories from Glastonbury, including why I should be listening to more Skepta and Groove Amarda. Who the hell's that?
He plays that villain role very well now. That's crying out for a little bit more attention. It comes with a lot of crazy people. I took it personally and it kind of made me rebel a bit more. To be honest, I don't really care anymore. I'm never going to change.
Bit of continuity.
Let me just calm down here. Hypocritical.
I always get my words mixed. Continuity.
Hypocritical. Hypercritical.
Is that a word? Try again. Continuity. There you go. Gosh. I'm always the butt of the jokes on this show.
No, I'd be getting my lawyer on this.
I'm always getting it.
I'd be getting my lawyer on this.
Well, I've had my wife already text me just laughing at me.
Oh, she's laughing at you as well?
She just laughs at me. Imagine at home the amount of jokes she gets off me. Me trying to pronounce words and that. Like, one thing about me, Al, my thing is, I don't know any words to any songs, so I'll go to a concert and I'll just pretend I know. I'll just put words into different places in a synchronized way, and it sounds good, but it's just the wrong words.
Right.
Then I try and use big words on the radio.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. Proper wonky for me.
Keep it simple. First 10 minutes of a game, keep it simple.
I'm a trier. I'll have a go. Yeah, I don't mind feeling or looking stupid. You know what I mean? Or being stupid. It makes everyone else feel better about themselves, doesn't it?
Well, it does, actually.
There's someone else out there dumber than them.
Yeah. Gabby must be laughing his head off. Gabby. Welcome to talkSPORT Breakfast. The wordsmith Carlton Cole with me. That package wasn't very fair, Carlton. We know you're good
he's
with words,
remixed it as well. He's remixed it.
Have you ever seen the show Countdown?
Yeah.
Right. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
The iconic show proves just how well people know their words. So we thought we'd give you a chance to prove just how good you are.
Okay,
Cal.
come on, let's go.
I wouldn't be smiling if I were you.
I don't mind.
In this first round, you'll have 30 seconds to make the biggest word you can possibly from the following 9 letters. So grab your pen.
Okay.
But you can only use each letter once. So let's get your pen ready because your letters are. Are you ready, Carlton?
Go on.
A-L.
Okay.
N-L-B-E-I-G-L. You got them?
G-L.
Start the timer, Ed.
So this is an acronym.
You just got to make a word out of them.
Okay.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. It's hard, isn't it?
I've got one.
I think I've got one.
Right, how many letters is the longest word you've made, Carlton?
5, I think. 5 letters.
5
letters.
Does it spell?
No, 6.
Does it spell all right?
It should do. Should I say it?
Yeah, go on.
Bangle.
Bangle, as a bangle.
Yeah. As a bangle. And there's B-A-N-G-L-E. Yeah.
Yeah,
bangle.
Well done. Yeah. What about labeling? Labeling.
Oh, you've used a few L's, haven't you?
9 letters.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, very good. That's nice, surely. You just got... Hold on a minute, I'm being tricked here. I'm being tricked. There's no way you got that.
Labelling, yes.
I'm not having it. You didn't get that.
Yeah,
someone's in your ear.
No.
All right, cool. What else we got? No, I can't have that. I'm not going out like that.
No, that's the only
I was going to say labelling, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. Right, time now for the latest sporting odds. Let's head down Purley Way, down Carlton's Way, and Simon Clare and Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for it. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
And all roads head to Newmarket. Good morning, Simon.
Good morning, guys. How are we doing this morning?
Very well. The sun's shining. The July course is going to be splendido.
It's lovely.
Yeah, big day. It's a good 3-day meeting, this. The July course is beautiful. The weather's going to be great. Set fair today. The July Stakes, I think, is probably the main race. We've got another battle between Godolphin and, Coolmore Ballydoyle, with Brussels, the favourite there, for Aidan O'Brien, with Maximise challenging him, for Godolphin. Very tight in the bet in there between the two of them. So that's probably the big race. Actually, there's also that fascination in the Princess of Wales, the Group 2. Keir Jirabashian paid £2 million just before Royal Ascot for Ghostwriter.
Yeah.
And he's favourite for that Group 2, just to see whether he can recoup some of that big outlay just a couple of weeks ago.
So Keir's partner in the Bloodstock, the guy who owns Forest. I think he is,
Keir,
yes, he is.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah,
Along with...
good pal of mine.
Along with who?
Is that right? That's interesting. Is it out there? Al Shakab. There's a few of them teamed up. Is there Al Shakab, the guy who owns Nottingham Forest, and it's an interesting triumvirate, that, isn't it? And obviously with Forest, the news that Forest may well have qualified for the Europa League by default, which is quite interesting this morning, which I know you've been broadcasting.
Well, Palace could be bombed out, Simon. Brighton could get in, and Forest could get an upgrade.
Bang out of
order. Right?
Bang out of order.
Yeah.
I was in the car listening with my son. We were talking. This is I've got lots of. I lived near Crystal Palace. Loads of great Palace fans. We've had a mate. To win the FA Cup for them was magnificent.
Unbelievable, wasn't it?
But. So they could drop down into the Conference League or be booted out completely.
Correct.
Those are the options.
Correct.
Oh God!
Yeah, ghastly.
Awful. I mean, to be honest, I sort of said, look, you might take dropping into the Conference League because it's a winnable competition for sure, and you're still travelling to Spain, Germany, France, etc. Just maybe the lesser teams. But to be out completely would be gutting, wouldn't it? I mean, it's a ridiculous rule.
So Simon, Lords today should be absolutely stunning, beautiful.
Yeah, this is going to be really exciting. I mean, the weather's set fair. We've got the return of Jofra Archer. Obviously, Bumrah will be back for India. So we've got the fascinating sort of battle of the great fast bowlers. England are favourites for this Test match. I know they were pretty much outplayed by India in the last. They're 10-11. It's 11-8 India. The draw's 13-2. You sort of feel it should be about 20-1 the way England played. Do you know what I mean? But and Archer's 5-2 to be top first innings bowler for England.
I'm excited about
Bumrah?
it.
What price is he, Bumrah?
Bumrah's 5-2 as well to be top Indian.
Right,
I thought that's quite a good price. I thought this to be top Indian. So just top Indian wicket taker in the first innings is Bumrah at 5-2. Roots 5-1 for a century. I heard you chatting about Zach Crawley. Can he make a comeback? Or play well this Test match? He's 5-2 to score a 50 and 7-1 to score 100. I'll be sort of willing him on. I quite like Zach Crawley. He's taking a lot of heat at the moment.
Simon, Scottish Open starts today, I believe, and also Wimbledon.
Yeah, listen, we've got some great British sport, English sport today. Wimbledon, it's the women's semis. I don't know if you watched much of it, but Sabalenka's look really strong.
Yeah, she's fabulous.
Yeah, she's 4-11 to beat Anisimova, the American.
And she came in here with not a lot of form as well, which is remarkable.
It is, exactly. She's 5-6 favourite to win the whole thing, and she's just got strong as it's gone on. To be fair, Raducanu gave her one of her closest matches in the early rounds. And then it's a great story. I mentioned it yesterday. Belinda Bencic, who had a baby 6 months ago. She's unseeded, former world number 4. She's again underdog again today, 9-4 against Iga Swiatek, who's 100-30 on. But she's playing really well. I wouldn't rule out another. I think this could be one of those stories where Bencic goes all the way to the final and possibly in a classic match against Sabalenka, which would be great sport.
Scottish Open, have you managed to get it up?
I was actually distracted. I
could see you scrambling there.
Let me have a quick look now. The Genesis Scottish Open. Let's give it its full name. Yes, the Scottish Shepherds favourite at 5-1. Actually, it's a great event. There's 10-1 Rory McIlroy. Then 20-1 Barr, the likes of Robert McIntyre. That'd be a great home victory for him. Tommy Fleetwood at 20-1. Schauffele 20-1. Morikawa 25s. Listen, it's a great hors d'oeuvre before the big Open. Where's the Open being played this year? You probably know.
Royal Portrush.
Portrush,
which Rory knows very well.
Are you going to go down there?
Not at the moment. No plans at the moment. No.
I'm going to the cricket on Friday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm going down to Lords.
You're a cricket fan, Carlton. That's interesting.
No, I'm a
You'd have been a great fast bowler.
I'm a booze fan. That's what I am. You know what I mean?
You ever played? I can imagine Carlton roaring in with that 20 paces.
Simon, Carlton would go to the opening of a letter.
I tell you what.
I must get you on the invite list then, Carlton.
I'm an Archer fan.
Listen, I must give a quick shout out. Actually, we've got Coral Race Club horse running this evening at Epsom in the 8:10. Rockstar Icon, trained by Oliver Cole, who he was supposed to actually only recently took over.
Hold
the
on,
full
it's
license.
nothing to do with Joe Cole.
No, something to do with me. Something to do with me. It's related to me.
The Cole's in play today, exactly. Yeah. Well, anyway, he's definitely got a chance. He ran fourth first time out after a break.
Yeah.
Luke Morris is on board in the 8:10, and we had a third yesterday for Alice Haynes, Aspire to Glory at Kempton. So I'm going to go down to Epsom tonight and cheer on Rockstar Icon for the Coral Racing Club.
So you Newmarket today, Simon?
No, I'm going to be at work from home today. I'm going to Epsom tonight to cheer on Rockstar Icon. Actually, Oliver Cole has a runner in the July Stakes called Jet Pepper, who he thinks has got a little chance against the Godolphin and Coolmore horses. And then I'm actually going down to Joe Tizard's tomorrow morning because my boss, Charlotte Emery, I'll give her a name check, she's won a place to ride in the Magnolia Cup, the ladies' charity race at Glorious Goodwood.
Oh.
And so she's riding out at Joe Tizard's tomorrow morning to build up her strength.
Well, let's hope she doesn't miss the start.
Do you know what? Genuinely, Al, all the conversation has been on actually because it's actually a 5.5 furlong sprint they ride in. Mine was a long distance race where the start didn't matter so much, whereas in the sprint it matters a lot. So we're going to be practicing.
Simon, you were facing the wrong way when the tapes went up. You were looking down towards Steve-O's mum and dad's house when you're meant to go the other way.
I know. I was like a rabbit in the headlights.
Simon, you have a good day, mate. Thank you.
Too, guys. Thanks,
Simon. Thank you, Simon.
Simon Clare there from Coral. Download Coral, UK only, 18+ gambleaway.org. Glorious Goodwood's going to be great. You should try and get on that one, Calm. It's brilliant. Yeah. Those were the latest odds with Coral. Up next, we're joined by Legend of Sport 2003 World Cup winner Jason Robinson is with us right here in the studio.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for it. 18+, begambleaware.org.
The Euros defence is back on for the Lionesses. They whimpered against France, but came roaring back against the Netherlands. 4-0 in the end, and Serena Wiegman's happy with the response from her players.
I'm very happy with the performance. I think we bounced back really well from France. Of course, we were not really happy with that performance. reviewed, we had conversations, and how the team responded today was really good, and I think we played a lot better.
Goals from Lauren James, Georgia Stanway and Ella Toon did the business. But on the full-time phone-in, former Lioness Jordan Hobbs says Alessia Russo was the standout performer.
You look at the last game, she was so isolated, and today, she had so many more bodies around her, and that's why she's ended up either creating chances for herself. She's obviously set up Ella Toon for one of the goals, and, with Alessia Russo, I think people don't appreciate probably how much she holds the ball up and allows players to get up the field and create chances for England.
Champions League winners PSG are through to the Club World Cup final after demolishing Real Madrid 4-0. They'll take on Conference League winners Chelsea. Dean Ashton was on commentary for talkSPORT. He predicts a tough night for the Blues.
I think they're just too well oiled. They've got too many talented players and off the bench. But I'm really fascinated to see where Chelsea are at and just whether they can cope defensively with what PSG have got to offer. I think it makes for a terrific final.
Coming up, 25 minutes to 9 o'clock, talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark Harp. Buy a car and opt in to Arnold Clark Rewards to enjoy access to great giveaways and everyday perks. Alan Brazil, Carlton Cole, and join us in the studio, this rugby legend.
Absolutely incredible! Jason Robinson!
Jason Robinson! Robinson is back!
We gonna rock on to Electric Avenue.
I played my second game in the Lions tour and I scored 5 tries, and I think people then started to take me a little bit more seriously.
Cornell to Wilkinson and on to Robinson from Perry. Now Robinson goes for the corner. Oh, this is a fairy tale.
I think he's probably got the best sidestep I've ever seen, because he can be running at full tilt and he can suddenly shift 5 metres in the other direction.
Sensational finish by England's winger. Sensational.
Well, he's the best in the world at that, isn't he?
Aurelio gets it inside. Wilkinson gets it outside to Robinson. Robinson in for the try in the corner.
It's coming back for Johnny Wilkinson. He drops for World Cup glory. Yes! It's over. He's done it.
Oh no, we gonna rock down to Electric.
Now he led the Sale Sharks to the first ever Premiership title 2006, toured with Lions twice, 2001, 2005, capped 51 times by England, scoring a whopping 28 tries. Key member of the side that lifted the World Cup in 2003. A very good morning to the one and only Jason Robinson. Jason, very good morning.
Good morning, guys.
I see you smiling there. I've seen a couple of great memories, eh?
Yeah, no, there's been so many over the years, and you look back at some of those tries, big occasions, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Lions,
yeah,
England World Cup, 3 World Cup finals.
Cool.
It kind of went all right, to be fair.
Your final retirement, 2011, was it?
Yeah. 2007 I retired.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Oh, I've got 2011.
He got 4 more years on me. There's not a chance I would have done another 4 years.
Anyway.
No, 2007.
Tell me a little bit about your foundation before we get stuck into the Lions and what you've made of it so far. Tell me about the foundation.
Yeah, so my foundation, we go into some of the most deprived schools in the UK, and this is all based around my background. I'm a council kid, never knew my father. Mum was a cleaner.
Yeah.
Had so many challenges growing up. Only got into rugby through a school teacher.
Sorry, growing up where?
Leeds.
Leeds, sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
four of the most challenging areas in Leeds. So it was only my school teacher. Nobody in my family ever played sport. So I realised what the sport has done for me. Rugby league, rugby union. To have played rugby league at the highest level for 10 years with Wigan during the 90s and do that was one thing. To then switch over into another sport I knew nothing about, didn't know the laws of the game, and then within 3 months I'm playing for England, another 3 months I'm on a Alliance tour, 2 World Cups, you know, first black man to captain England. So all that. So I go into some of the most deprived areas now, and we feed kids. We do morning clubs, after school clubs, holiday clubs. We do dads and kids sessions, and that's because I never had my father there once. Of all the stadiums I played in, 90,000 people, you know, captain my country, I never looked out and saw my father. So we try and work on some of these relationships within school, give kids an opportunity. There's so many great rugby schools about who have the best facilities, the best teachers, you know, coaches, whereas the areas that we go into, they have nothing. So we go in there, and as I say, we put coaches in there, we mentor them, we give them boots, trainers, clothing. But we do so many different events as well.
Who funds all this, Jason?
It's us. You know, we get very little funding from government, which it's so frustrating because I'm actually doing a job. We're doing a job that somebody else should be doing. And we don't just do rugby, we do all sports because we want to engage with as many kids as possible. So we have to do fundraising events. Yeah, so we're doing dinners, we're doing bike rides, we've got a bike ride to Sardinia coming up. Wow. So we rely upon companies, people to try and partner with us to be able to deliver it into those areas.
How long has it been going on now?
So I've been doing it for 8 years.
Okay,
we turned it into the foundation, non-for-profit, 2 years ago.
Okay.
And it's going well. I mean, it's hard work because you know, if we had more funding, we could reach more.
What do you need?
Kids.
What do you need ideally a year?
Listen, what we want to do is make it sustainable. You know, it's all well and good putting a coach in, but the kids that we work with normally have a lot of people coming in and out of the life all the time. So we want to make sure it's sustainable so we can put coaches in and they stay in as opposed to just, right, this is rugby, this is sport.
Continued support.
And because that's what they need. You know, we've got kids who are not going home to parents saying, oh, how was school today? They're going home to empty houses. They're not getting fed. They're not getting looked after properly. So we need more support.
Are there any, so we're talking about support, are there any football clubs, rugby clubs that are taking an interest and send coaches your way or any kind of player liaison or anything like that?
I unfortunately don't. You would think, having played 2 different sports, first men's black captain of England, the areas that I go into, because it's my world, you would think I'd actually get more support from the governing body to go in and partner with me on this.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I get absolutely nothing, which is, you know, for me it's hard because it's like, right, now I've got to do a dinner to do this, to get the coaches. So all the pressure's on me and my team to raise the money. Well, actually, if we can get some of that money, and government money, you know, the RFU, etc., I mean, it makes sense to have me on board as an ex-England captain that grew up in that, to deliver the programme to schools. Well, it's a no-brainer, but it's amazing how little support I get. And I've got my thoughts around that. But I just... So we rely upon, you know, just nice people, you know, companies thinking, right, okay, we want to make a difference. Because we keep talking about, you know, it's great talking about the Lions and the top level, but the reality is the game is only going to grow if we get more people involved in it. And where I grew up, most kids never had a rugby ball. Never had a rugby ball. So me, I feel quite lucky, and this is why now, post-playing, I know what it's like coming to school, and actually sometimes going to school is getting away from stuff at home.
Exactly.
You know.
Tell me, you mentioned union and league. Did you never sprint? Did you never play football?
I played all sorts. Yeah, I used to play football. I even played Crown Green bowling.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
How was that?
Well, you know what it was? So I grew up in an area, and I mean, Crown Green bowling is known for older people doing it. And there was like, how do we get young people into this game? Now, where I used to live, you know, nobody had any money, so they thought, okay, well, we'll put some competitions on for the youngsters, and we'll put some money up. Oh. So I got 2 years on the trot, £3 every year. I won it twice. But
so you're good with your hands anyway, isn't you?
Listen, but this is the thing for me. what we're missing out on all the time is some real gold. When you go into some of these schools, and some of these kids have very, very little, but they're hungry. They're hungry, and if you can just get with them, just nurture them, give them a pair of boots. It's all well and good people saying, "Oh well, yeah, just go and join the local rugby club or go and do this." They can't get there. They've not got parents that are saying, go and get, we'll support you. If they've got 3 kids and it's 150 quid to join, they can't do it. So we're just trying to do a little bit. We're not going to change the world.
So the foundation, is it just basically in the north, Leeds, Manchester area, or is it all over?
We do it all over the country.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
Leeds is a sweet spot for me because it's where I grew up in. So we go into some of the schools that I used to.
Some of the breweries. Yeah. Some of the big breweries or some of the big betting firms.
Well, the betting firms are not allowed to with kids. Even if they're giving them a progression. It's just the law. The law.
Listen, we take anything.
I know.
To be fair, and this is the thing. I mean, there's so many different companies. We do it all over the country. We've got some good partners, Obex, Dental. So it's not just about physical health. It's about oral health, mental health.
Non-alcoholic beverages. There you go.
Oh, the 0.0%.
Yeah.
I look down upon them. I look down upon that.
But there's so many companies out there that actually want to do stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
That need to do stuff, and it's like, well, let's partner then, because I'm putting in the work. I'm happy picking up boxes.
Give us what's the web address?
Well, it's Jason Robinson Foundation. If they go onto the website, they can see some of the stuff that we're doing, and all the help we can get. The more we can get, the more we can go and deliver.
Yeah, let's get some backing for it. Come on.
This is a great cause. So Jason Robinson Foundation out there. Jason's going to stay with us. We're going to talk lines next.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarx Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarx.
plays that villain role very well now. That's crying out for a little bit more attention. It comes with a lot of crazy people. I took it personally, and it kind of made me rebel a bit more. To be honest, I don't really care anymore. I'm never going to change.
Minutes to 9 o'clock. talkSPORT Breakfast. Alan Brazil, former England striker Carlton Cole, and 2003 Rugby World Cup winner Jason Robinson, who needs a bit of help with his foundation, that is for sure. Some of the headlines you're waking up to this morning: Crystal Palace face being booted into the Conference League or out of Europe after Lyon. They won their appeal against relegation from the French top flight. The man at the centre of all the chaos, John Textor, will be live in this very studio with White and Jordan from 10 a.m. That's a must listen for Palace fans. Christian Horner was reportedly in tears when he found out he'd been sacked by Red Bull. The news report reportedly came out as a massive shock to the former team principal after 20 years at Red Bull. And we now know Chelsea's FIFA Club World Cup opponents on Sunday in the final after last night's one-sided second semi. Live on talkSPORT, Real Madrid slapped by PSG 4-0, and French football expert Julien Lorenz is still in shock about just how good Paris were.
What a performance from PSG again. What a team this is, and what a season this is turning out to be. They are in for a fifth title, the fourth final of the season after the Champions League, obviously, the French Cup, the French Community Shield, and the this competition. They're incredible. The way they've battered and dominated Real Madrid after what they did to Bayern Munich and to Atletico Madrid and to Inter Miami to a certain extent, but also to Inter Milan and to all the English clubs in the Champions League this season as well is just breathtaking. Really, Ousmane Dembélé, the best player in the world right now, another goal, another assist for him. And even if they benefited, obviously, from mistakes by Real Madrid, they were just so much better than them, and they could easily have scored another goal or two, maybe even three. They had so many chances and didn't give anything away to Real Madrid. So another very impressive performance. Now one more game to go.
Julien Lorenz there, a big Paris fan. To the lines now. The Tourers, of course, live and exclusive on talkSPORT. We're still joined by 2003 Rugby World Cup winner Jason Robinson. Let's focus now on a very good friend of yours, Andy Farrell, Jace, and now the head coach of the Lions. The Lions beat the Brumbies 36-4 to make it 4 wins from 4 down under, but it all started with that defeat to Argentina in Dublin. We shouldn't be too surprised because Lions coming together for the first time, taking on a good side, a much improved Argentina.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about Andy Farrell there. I was lucky enough to play with him for 10 years, and I know the standards that he set as a player were phenomenal. Yeah. And now as a coach, he demands the same thing. So whilst they've won the last 4 games out in Australia, he'll still not be happy with certain parts of the game. But this is why they have the games beforehand. They're looking for the combinations, looking to see who's on form. And the key thing is, when it comes to that first test, on the 19th, you need to be ready. It's as simple as that. So there's a lot still to do for the Lions. There's certainly opportunities missed there, and that's what happens when you get 4 nations coming together in a very short space of time, and they're playing against some good sides.
Does it worry you a little bit how slow we've started in the games?
Not really. It's again, these combinations normally take time for any team to be successful. Normally, you want to play week in, week out. You want to know each other inside out. With rugby and you have the Six Nations, everybody's knocking lumps out of each, and now you just expect them to get on and everything work out fine. Professional sport is not like that. When you're playing the Lions, when you're playing some of these teams, you don't get the time on the ball. It's not quite as everybody thinks, and the expectation of the Lions is just to roll up to Australia, beat everybody by 50 points, and then go into the test and beat them 3-0.
Yeah.
When you go to Australia, completely different. The Australians have been written off at the moment because they've not been as good as they have in previous years, but they'll be sat back at the moment thinking, we've got a good chance here.
Yeah. Well, I must admit, I was with Dean Saunders yesterday, and Dina loves a chat. And I'm trying to watch the game, and Dean was in my ear, and
what are you saying?
But I tell you, when the Lions got the ball in the Brumbies half, they didn't have to throw it around quick and sharp. They were brilliant going forward. Football in terms. Just now and again, they just looked a little bit not weak at the back, but give them opportunities, and I think the Aussies will love that.
Yeah, and you've just got to be clinical at the highest level in sport. When you get the opportunity, you've just got to seize the moment. And there was times that they did that, and there was some great stuff, and you thought, wow, but you've got to do it for 80 minutes.
Yeah.
And this is what they've got to find out in a very short space of time. And this is all the challenge. This is what's great about the Lions, because really it shouldn't work.
Yeah.
But there's a competition within a competition. Some of the players are still a little bit of edgy because, there's a lot of positions that are up for grabs.
Yeah.
We'll talk about positions. There's issues at fullback. Yeah, and so obviously you've got the family affair. Andy Farrell will he regret calling up his own son?
No. And there's been a lot of talk about Owen Farrell coming out.
Yeah.
But the reality is, Owen Farrell, it's almost like having another coach. In the sessions, he speaks a lot. He's got a lot of presence.
Okay.
He knows the game inside out, and everything he wants to do is just to better the players. And so having him there will actually get a couple of people on the toes, because they're probably thinking, I'm first choice on this, but now they're probably thinking, well, hang on a minute, if I don't get into form
he's
quickly,
a fierce competitor, isn't he?
But he's just like his dad. The apple hasn't fallen far from the tree. Everything I see in Owen was in his dad all that time. But listen, it's just all you want to do is just raise the standards of the game. You're talking about fullback at the moment. Keenan hasn't been playing too well. We know he's a lot better than that. Kinghorn has just got injured. You've got Daly, who, had he not got injured, he probably would have been the starting 15 because he was playing really well.
Pollock, what do you make of Pollock, young Pollock?
I mean, I don't know him, but I love it when young lads come into a. It's all new for him. He's recently on the scene. You can come into something and be a bit chopsy, have a bit about you, and not performing. The great thing about him is he's performing. He can do stuff that players that have been playing the game for 10 years can't do.
No fear, isn't it? It's just no fear.
I love it, and it's that bordering on. People say, he's a bit arrogant. No, we need characters. Yeah. The game needs people that are going to say, okay, then let's go, let's bring it on.
I'll perform,
but I'll back it up. And we've seen him. I've saw him score tries against Sale. He's broke the line. He's chipped over. He's regathered. He's beaten someone. He scored. It's like, wow. Yeah, you just don't see that very often. And rugby's about getting people off the seats. I want to be excited when I go and watch. So I think he's doing well at the moment.
Gibson Park and Finn Russell. Do you think they'll start against the Aussies?
Yeah, I think they have to. I think we knew that probably before the Lions went out there. Two players. Lots of experience. Finn Russell can turn something out of nothing. Gibson Park, just that consistency, getting guys on the front foot, and that's definitely going to be the combination there.
Both wings. What about the both wings? Who would you like to see?
It's still before it started. I would have thought Freeman, because he's been playing really well for England the last 18 months. He's been on fire, scoring tries for fun. Lowe.
I like Lowe, me. Yeah. I do. I like Lowe.
He's good. I mean, he's not your out-and-out gas man on the wing, but he's got good hands. He's strong, got a great boot. But I expected a little bit more from the wings, and probably from a lot of the players, to be honest. I don't think they've all hit, where they need to be at the moment. But this is what's good, because now we're all guessing who's going to be in that first test. And if you're lucky enough to be in that first test, because all the games leading up to it, all the players want to do is play in the test matches.
Yeah.
Not playing down any games before that, but you want to be on the. You don't just want to play in the test. You want to be a successful Lion. I was lucky enough to go on probably 3, 2 in league and 1 in union.
What's your what's your best memory?
Yeah, I've got 2. First of all, been written off because I started a Lions test match before I started an England test match.
Really?
I only came because I was only in rugby. I switched over to rugby union. Within 3 months, I was playing for England. Yeah. I was on the bench, came off for 10, 15 minutes. So everybody thought when I go on the Lions tour, I'll just maybe come off the bench. First game I played in, I scored 5 tries in one half. All of a sudden they thought, oh, maybe he can do a bit more. Yeah. But I always remember...
A bit more?
But the first test at the Gab, I was lucky enough to play in the first test. Yeah. And I always remember it because we warmed up underneath the stadium. Normally, you're obviously on the pitch and the crowds are coming in, the atmosphere builds. But this time was under the field. So we didn't really know what was going on. And I'd heard about that. I was still learning. I didn't know about the Lions' history, who had played. I still didn't know all the names of the players in my team.
That's what I was
coming out to a test match. But I remember Jono coming in and said, look, you're never going to believe it, because he'd been out and seen. And we went up the stairs, and all you could hear as you got further up the stairs is Lions. And we ran out onto that pitch and looked round, and it was a sea of red, all the red shirts, and it was just an amazing feeling. We scored within 2.5 minutes. I was lucky enough to get round somebody, but it was just an amazing day. And it's not just about the teams, the players coming together, it's the fans. It's the only time where the Irish, Scottish and the Welsh fans, as an Englishman, will say nice things about you, and will sing the national anthems.
That's what I was just trying to say. Like, so when you were a Lion, like, wasn't it hard getting on with other nations, and other nations' teammates, and you have to make them your teammate, and you got to see what he's good at. Yeah. Although you might have had a Barney with him at another point, you got to get on with him so you can get the best out of you can get the best out of him. How did that fit?
That's what's great about the Lions. You will go on the Lions tour thinking, I don't like him.
Yeah.
He stood at me last week. Yeah. He punched me last week. And you got certain things you hold against people.
Yeah.
But rugby's one of those sports where as soon as you cross the white line, as soon as you get under that pitch, you're there to knock lumps out of each other, and you're there to dominate. Yeah. But all of a sudden you get forced, because it's like, right, now you've got a room with somebody that you think, I do not like. Yeah. But you will see that most of the time you'll room with people and you think, I actually like them. Yeah, and you come away from a Lions tour with guys like really good mates that you never thought would happen for life. And that's what's great about it. And the respect of those people, and just seeing the character and what makes them tick.
Yeah.
Right, I've got to break there. Jason, brilliant, thank you. Brilliant stuff from Jason Robinson. Get involved in that foundation. If you heard what Jason said earlier, Jason Robinson Foundation.co.uk. Have a look at it, please. Coming up with John, another legend of sport, Gunther Steiner, former Haas team principal, is with us next.
defence is back on for the Lionesses. They whimpered against France, but came roaring back against the Netherlands. 4-0 in the end, and Sarina Wiegman's happy with the response from her players.
I'm very happy with the performance. I think we bounced back really well from France. Of course, we were not really happy with that performance. Reviewed, we had conversations, and how the team responded today was really good, and I think we played a lot better.
Goals from Lauren James, Georgia Stanway and Ella Toone did the business. But on the full-time phone-in, former Lioness Jordan Hobbs says Alessia Russo was the standout performer.
You look at the last game, she was so isolated, and today, she had so many more bodies around her, and that's why she's ended up either creating chances for herself. She's obviously set up Ella Toone for one of the goals, and, with Alessia Russo, I think people don't appreciate probably how much she holds the ball up and allows players to get up the field and create chances for England.
Just the 3 assists for Russo and, agonisingly, another disallowed goal. A win against Wales means the Lionesses will qualify for the quarter-final. Champions League winners PSG are through to the Club World Cup final after demolishing Real Madrid 4-0. They'll take on Conference League winners Chelsea. Dean Ashton was on commentary for talkSPORT. He predicts a tough night for the Blues.
I think they're just too well oiled. They've got too many talented players and off the bench. But I'm really fascinated to see where Chelsea are at and just whether they can cope defensively with what PSG have got to offer. I think it makes for a terrific final.
That final will be live on talkSPORT from the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey on Sunday night. The third test gets underway against India at Lords this morning, and after 4 years away, Jofra Archer is finally back in the test side. Ben Stokes told us he cannot wait to see him back in action.
Now that day's finally here, it's amazing for us as his teammates, but also for him. And skill that Joff possesses, we all know what that is. Incredibly skillful, and times where he bowls the absolute speed of light. He's a game changer. He's got all the attributes to be one of the all-time greats.
Remember, we'll be bringing you live updates from Lords throughout the day.
Good morning. talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Alan Brazil, Carlton Cole. I enjoyed that chat there,
Yeah, it's very eye-opening.
And I find it hard what Jason's trying to do here, that he's not getting a lot of help.
He needs the support and the backing of the RFU, definitely. Let's try and put a little bit of pressure on him. See what he's doing. He's going grassroots, and he's trying to give back. That needs to be looked at in a positive way. So hopefully, fingers crossed, you get something out of this conversation we've had today.
Still to come between now and 10, we'll bring you right up to speed with the latest developments surrounding Palace, the European League fate. Will they be allowed in, demoted to the Conference League, or even booted out from Europe altogether? Palace and Lyon shareholder John Textor, the man at the centre of all this chaos, will be live in the studio with White and Jordan from 10 a.m, so don't miss that, Palace fans. Plus, we'll ask former England cricket and broadcasting legend David Bumble Lloyd whether Ben Stokes should elect to bat first if they win the toss at Lords for the third India test today. Now, though, the back pages are dominated this morning But Formula One, and matters away from the track, Christian Horner was reportedly in tears as he was informed colleagues of his shock sacking as Red Bull team principal yesterday. Horner earned $12 million a year, but so what? He's got plenty of money, and had been with the Red Bull team since the team were formed in 2005, leading them to 8 driver championships and 6 constructor championships. Top F1 journalist James Allen joined Hawksby and Jacobs yesterday and revealed that Horner's dismissal could be down to a deteriorating relationship with the Verstappens.
Particularly, not so much Max, but particularly his father, as you say. Yeah, they had a big row earlier in the year. My understanding is they had another big row on Sunday after the race in Silverstone. Yes, I think there is definitely a school of thought that the Verstappens have played their part in sort of impressing upon Red Bull that this team needs a change if it's going to save itself. Verstappen's contract runs for another 3 years, but there are escape clauses for him if he wanted to activate them. Whether or not, I think this year it may or may not be likely that the performance would be poor enough on his side that would trigger that. But the major rule change coming for next year, and I think it's more likely now that Verstappen will stay where he is into next year, have a look who's got the fastest car and engine, and being by some margin the best driver in Formula One right now, I think he can then take his pick for 2027 of whether he goes to Mercedes or he goes to Aston Martin, who will have Adrian Newey and Honda engines in 2026 and 27. So, Verstappen's definitely holding the cards now, that's for sure.
Yeah, James Allen there. John is now for more is the former Haas team principal, Gunther Steiner. Gunther, a very, very good morning.
Good morning to you guys.
Good morning.
Gunther, should we be surprised at this? So long at Red Bull, and now he gets the fatal news. I'm sorry, you sacked. You're out the door. Should we be surprised?
I think the timing, I'm surprised. I mean, normally these things happen either in the winter break or in the summer break, and this is just before the summer break, so the timing. Otherwise, I think, as you said before, there was it was not a happy camp for a while now at Red Bull. It looked like to the outside, there was a lot of speculating who likes who doesn't like who, and therefore maybe not. But I think what we need to give is Christian credit to the championships, which you just mentioned before. He did a good job, but things in life change, and as you said, he will be not short of a pound, so he will be all right. And things change in life, but a little bit surprised of the timing. But in Formula One, there is a lot of change, and he was there a very long time, 20 years.
Yeah, I love Max. I think he's a magnificent driver. I know he's sometimes gets very angry on the track, but at the same time he's a winner. He's fantastic. But I wonder, Gunther, how much his father has to do with this, because clearly he did not see eye to eye with Christian.
Yeah, correct. And I don't know how much he has to do with it, but for sure there was open criticism. It was not, hearsay. He openly critiqued Jos Verstappen, the management of Red Bull, mainly Christian. So we were all fully aware that there was that the relationship wasn't good. So obviously these things, as you said, Max in the moment is the best driver, and you really rightly analyzed before. I think they say Max will stay at Red Bull for next year, or he will have said, I stay here, but I maybe want some changes. That could have been. I don't know if it was like this, but it's for sure Max, the driver because he's the best in the moment, has got a big say in a team, so it's pretty normal. So if he didn't get on, or his father didn't get on with Christian, for sure that played a role in it, I guess.
Do you think they gave him, Christian gave Max a bit too much power, and ultimately doesn't have a job anymore?
It's difficult, because to have somebody like Max, you want to keep him, and you don't give this power in a day. A driver like this grabs his power because he knows his value for the team. I mean, you can see it at Red Bull. The second driver, they are at their second one this year already. Last year, the second driver scored very few points. They cannot do it, and obviously Max put himself in this position to have a lot of say in a team because he is the biggest assets they have got in the moment.
What about the forthcoming Grand Prix, Spa, Belgium? Who do you think can Red Bull bounce back here, or will this be McLaren again?
I think the second it will be a McLaren again. It will be I think again a great fight between the two McLaren guys.
Yeah, it really is, and it's a joy they let them fight each other and race each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's for the spectators. For us, it's the best we can have. I mean, if McLaren or Zach Brown or Andrea Stella would say, this is number one, he needs to win the championship, it could get boring pretty quick. But they are saying we let them race, and obviously it's also as well they're in a good position because the guy behind is Max Verstappen in the moment, but he's pretty far off now. So, let them fight. One of the two will win it anyway, almost.
What about just last one, Gunther, and I appreciate your time this morning. Thank you. Christian, do you think we hear he's still getting paid, but could he bounce back quickly, maybe at Ferrari?
Cool.
Well, I guess. I mean, I haven't spoken with him since it all happened because for sure he's got bigger problems than speaking with me in the moment. But I don't think he's gonna do that. He will not be desperate for a next job. I mean, he was there 20 years. I know how stressful it is to run a team, and Red Bull is big. And the last years, for sure, for him have been tough. So I think he, as you said, he still gets paid. So I think he's enjoying his gardening leave.
Yeah.
For you, just one more question. For you being obviously a former F1 team principal, do you think Christian, where does he rank for you? Is he one of the all-time greats?
Oh, he's very good what he did. And again, we don't have to forget he was there 20 years, which is a long time for a team principal. So he has done quite a few things right, I must say.
Yeah.
Gunther, enjoy Belgium. Thank you very, very much for joining us this morning on talkSPORT. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys. Have a good day.
Gunther Steiner there, former team principal at Haas. Okay. Coming up with a ton of attention to the news that Palace could be kicked out of the Europa League, could be kicked out of Europe altogether. A disgrace. We bring you the very latest on that next.
plays that villain role very well now. That's crying out for a little bit more attention. It comes with a lot of crazy people. I took it personally and it kind of made me rebel a bit more. To be honest, I don't really care anymore. I'm never going to change.
talkSPORT Breakfast with the Arnold Clark app. Buy a car and then join Arnold Clark Rewards to enjoy access to great giveaways and everyday perks. Carlton Cole alongside me. Quick one. Hugh Grant fell asleep at Wimbledon yesterday during Djokovic. Oh no, he did.
He got caught as well.
He's brilliant as well. I love Hugh Grant.
Oh, he's a ledge. He's. Do you know Hugh Grant?
He's a film fan, isn't he?
Do you know Hugh Grant? Yeah, I've got a story about Hugh Grant. His mum, God rest her soul, was my head of year.
Was she?
At school, Lambton School.
Yeah.
So that's how I knew about Hugh Grant. So
Yeah.
I'm quite privileged to have that story.
Oh, okay. Right, quick one. Hugh Grant fell asleep. Can't never fallen asleep somewhere you shouldn't have.
Yes.
Before you were married, obviously.
No. In the toilets.
No.
In the nightclub, yeah.
No.
Yeah. I've done that.
Have you really?
Outside the nightclub, waiting for a taxi. Then taxi went up. Well, the Uber left, so I was just outside.
There's a couple of words keep coming up here, Carlton. Nightclubs.
Yeah, it's always that. It's always
a boy, were you?
Bit of a boy, yeah.
Who did you used to go out with?
Oh, loads. I had loads of friends.
Is it footballers?
Yeah, of course, and my friends from school as well.
Yeah.
And
Where did you school?
I'm not proud. I'm not proud of sleeping on the job, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Whereabouts did you school?
I went to Chiswick School. I went Lambton School first.
Where's that? Where?
That's in Hounslow. Yeah.
All right.
So I went Lambton School first. That's where Hugh Grant's mum was my head of year. She didn't like me, by the way. So, so she was about to expel me, but I was a really good footballer.
Expel you? Oh, you must
so I was suspended. I was suspended because I was a troublemaker, and there was another boy called Carlton who was the real troublemaker. I was just the tall one that got caught all the time. So then, as I was suspended, I done an interview at Chiswick School, but because Chiswick School, I played against them a few times and I'd run them ragged. They joined me, so that was my first ever transfer because of football at school. So I joined Chiswick School and I never looked back.
So you were West London then?
Yeah, I'm a West London man.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, yesterday saw from West London to South London. Yesterday saw a potential massive development in Crystal Palace fight to remain in the Europa League for next season. Lyon in France announced that they had won their appeal against relegation from League One. Significant because the French club finished 6th compared to Palace's 12th. And with John Textor, a shareholder of both clubs, UEFA can demote Palace to the Conference League or even expel them altogether. John is now for the latest. talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crookie. Morning.
Good morning. How are we?
Crookie, how are you, mate?
You looked a bit surprised there, Crookie. You just trying to take in what Carlton was talking about there? Troublemaker, Cole?
No. Come on, Crookie. You know I'm not a troublemaker.
I can imagine you've got a mischievous side, Carl. We all know that.
Definitely.
You're not the only person who's fallen asleep in a nightclub toilet, by the way. I did that many years ago.
Oh yeah, it's the done thing.
The bouncers.
It's the done thing. It's the done thing. If you haven't fallen asleep in a toilet in a nightclub and woken up by the bouncers, you've never lived.
Agreed.
You've never lived.
It's a badge of honour.
Al,
I'm with you.
When's your next escapade? Are you gonna? No.
Oh no, I've changed.
No, yeah. I know you've definitely fallen asleep on the job.
The more I think about it, I might have done. Colchester Windmill.
I've fallen asleep on the train and gone to the last stop with Cockfosters.
Oh, you haven't.
Oh, it's the worst feeling in the world, and you have to jump on the way back, and it's not great.
Back to football. Crikey. Palace. I can't believe, Crookie, they could get kicked out altogether. This is not right.
No, I think it's outrageous, to be honest, when you look at the number of big clubs across Europe who are now part of these multi-ownership models. It's very commonplace in every major European league. The fact that UEFA are even considering making an example of Palace, who've never won a major trophy before this season, have never played European football of any kind, I think is a disgrace, quite frankly, as is the fact that the wait goes on. We know UEFA were waiting for the outcome of Lyon's appeal to the French authorities before making a final decision. I would suggest that probably doesn't bode well for Crystal Palace, but I am told that if UEFA do demote them from the Europa League, they will fight this all the way. There's talk of going to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. So once again, I think we're going to find ourselves talking about matters off the pitch when really we should be celebrating the fact that Palace have broken the status quo. They were fully deserving winners of the FA Cup, and they deserve their place in the Europa League. I'm keen to hear what John Textor has to say about this when he's on with Jim and Simon later, because of course he is right at the centre of this controversy, and it's because he didn't have the foresight to do what Evangelos Marinakis at Forest did and put his shares into a blind trust. The reason Marinakis did that before the March the 1st deadline was in case Forest qualified for the Champions League, and therefore it negated the threat of them being thrown out, because he also owns Olympiacos, who are in the Champions League as well. So it's an administrative error, if anything, and surely the fan base at Crystal Palace don't deserve to be punished as a result of that.
It's a hard one as well, because you look at it. It's not just the placement in Europe you're worried about. It's the prize money as well that people need to understand as well, because the money that goes into Europe, as you go along the levels, you get more and more money, so they're going to be missing out on that as well. For me, yeah, it's a bit weird.
Alex, let's talk
the prestige of keeping players as well. Players who are in high demand.
Yeah,
people like Mark Gay and Tyreek Mitchell, Eberechi Eze, and they're more likely to stay if they're playing Europa League football.
Alex, talking about keeping players, let's talk transfers. Why are West Ham selling a key player to Spurs? A lot of West Ham fans angry this morning.
Oh, well, I think they're paying the price for what turned out to be a pretty disastrous transfer window last season, overseen by Tim Steidten, the sporting director. They signed the likes of Nicholas Füllkrug, who barely kicked a ball in anger for West Ham because of injury. You can go further back. Naif Aguerd was an underwhelming signing. I don't think John Clare Todibo was brilliant either. And in order for Graham Potter to bring in new players and try and mould the squad in his image, they need to sell players. And obviously, again, there's an off-pitch issue that is still hanging over Lucas Paquetá, who will be another of their most sellable assets. So they've had to cash in on Kudus. It's reluctant on David Sullivan's part, I think, to do business with Spurs, the first West Ham player to make that move across London since Scott Parker back in 2011.
Don't remind me.
But they were the only bidders in town. So £55 million, I think, is a decent enough fee. Kudus has got talent, but I don't think he was consistent, Carlton, in a West Ham shirt.
No. Listen, I think last season was a downer for everybody at the club. Obviously, we started with Julian Lopetegui. Didn't kick off. Didn't go in the right direction. Obviously Graham Potter comes in. Didn't really take off as well. So Kudus didn't really show what we saw from the season before, which was he was unbelievable. Like, you couldn't stop him. So that's what I think is going to be the driving force behind this, to say that, well, he didn't have a good season last season, so there's no way we can just keep him for keeping him safe. Because if we don't do the deal, then we miss out on probably getting other players in which actually Graham Potter needs to fulfil the requirements of what he wants to do.
Just in that possible move to Spurs, it's strange how every London club hates Spurs, isn't it?
No, it's not.
It's not just West Ham.
It's not strange, is it? It's not strange. There's a reason behind everything.
Well, it's not just West Ham. Arsenal, Chelsea, they all hate Spurs.
We don't hate them. It's a common dislike. That's all I'd say. But you know what? I've got loads of Spurs mates, but They're all right. The Arsenal are the loudest in town at the moment. That's the only thing. I think Spurs are all right. They're not disappointing.
Crookie, what do you make of last night? PSG, brilliant. Chelsea, any chance in the Club World Championship?
Well, I think it's going to be really difficult, Al. I covered the quarter-final against Bayern Munich, and they're down to 9 men, and they're still chasing and scoring a second goal. They are an unstoppable force at this moment in time. They absolutely blitzed Real Madrid. I don't think this is a brilliant Real Madrid side. I think actually they're having some of the issues that PSG with the likes of Mbappe had, in that their big players don't really want to do the type of running off the ball that PSG do, but they just press you so high. They're hunters, and I fear for Robert Sanchez, who isn't the best with the ball at his feet, and I think they are going to be swarming all over him. I think it'd be a massive achievement for Chelsea to win this game.
Alex, you're not making Newmarket the weekend, are you? July Cup and great 3-day meeting.
No, unfortunately not. I was at Brighton this week. We had a lovely day up there overlooking the Sussex coast, but I'm keeping my powder relatively dry for glorious Goodwood, Alan. You're going to be gracing us with your presence once again.
I'm down there Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. Looking forward to it.
Lovely.
That is one of my favourites.
I'll catch you for a glass or two of Whispering Angel, I'm sure.
We're on. Absolutely. Thank you, Crookie. Right, coming up after Hugh Grant fell asleep at Wimbledon, if you're watching on CTV or YouTube, you see what? You see photos of me being ever professional whilst at work.
Look at the photo. Oh my! No, there's photo evidence of you sleeping on the job.
Well, for me to do that means that I must have
the one with the feet up.
I must have been out the night before. Not out, but working late that night.
Definitely the one with the feet up. Look at it. You're showing your. Look at it.
Oh yeah.
Shocking.
Well, it's getting up early in the morning.
Do you snore? Are you a snorer?
No, that's not me. They've just put that.
Are you actually? But are you a snorer?
Yeah.
And you're snoring on the job?
Yeah. No, that was 10 to 6. I wasn't on yet.
Oh, okay.
Right, up next, we turn our attention to the cricket and whether Jofra Archer is going to be the difference against India in the third test at Lords. If you're listening overseas, catch live coverage on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. I think I've lost weight. 9:30.
The Euros defence is back on for the Lionesses. They whimpered against France, but came roaring back against the Netherlands. 4-0 in the end, and Serena Wiegman's happy with the response from her players.
I'm very happy with the performance. I think we bounced back really well from France. Of course, we were not really happy with that performance. We had conversations, and how the team responded today was really good, and I think we played a lot better.
Goals from Lauren James, Georgia Stanway and Ella Toone did the business. But on the full-time phone-in, former Lioness Jordan Hobbs says Alessia Russo was the standout performer.
You look at the last game, she was so isolated, and today, you know, she had so many more bodies around her, and that's why she's ended up either creating chances for herself. She's obviously set up Ella Toone for one of the goals, and, you know, with Alessia Russo, I think people don't appreciate probably how much she holds the ball up and allows players to get up the field and create chances for England.
Champions League winners PSG are through to the Club World Cup final after demolishing Real Madrid 4-0. They'll take on Conference League winners Chelsea. Dean Ashton was on commentary for talkSPORT. He predicts a tough night for the Blues.
I think they're just too well oiled. They've got too many talented players and off the bench. But I'm really fascinated to see where Chelsea are at and just whether they can cope defensively with what PSG have got to offer. I think it makes for a terrific final.
.34 on talkSPORT. Now, earlier this morning we put Carlton's vocabulary, very good by the way, to the test in Countdown Carlton. He did well making a 6-letter word bango from the letters A-L, N-L, B-E-I-G-L.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he didn't beat me though. I was lucky though. I got the full 9 with labelling, but that was lucky. Ed had something to do with it.
Yeah.
You wanted another go, Carlton, so here we go. Get your pen out.
Go on then.
Your 9 letters are B-L...
Yes.
O-F-S-O-T-L-A. You got them?
Okay.
Right. Ed, timer, please.
I've got it.
You've got it?
Yeah.
How many?
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8.
8, very good. Okay, Ed, that'll do it.
No, I've got 9.
You've got 9?
Yeah.
Go on then. Oh, I've seen it. Football.
Yeah.
Football.
Footballs.
Yeah.
Footballs.
Well done. Well done.
Or, can you go softball?
You could do.
You could go softball as well?
Yeah, you could do.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's
well,
my.
there
that's
you go. Carlton's not thick, Ed.
I'm not that stupid.
Honestly.
Could have chosen a harder anagram for me, you know?
I'll tell you what, I'd love to see Gabby try that.
Mate, it'd be it wouldn't be countdown.
He
would
might
it?
have got salt, something like that.
It'll be the weakest link on him.
Now the 5-test series between England and India gets back underway at Lord's this morning. It's going to be great. The weather set fair. The sides are locked 1-1 with Shubman Gill's heroics at Edgbaston saw his side romp to a brilliant 336-run victory. But good news, England fans, Jofra Archer will be making his first test appearance in 4 years. His coach at Sussex, Paul Farbrace, told us earlier that he's raining to go and will make a huge difference. Let's build up to what should be a brilliant first day's play at Lord's with a legend that is David Bumble Lloyd. David, morning.
Morning, Al.
Morning.
David, a morning like this at
Morning,
Lord's.
Carlton.
Morning.
A morning like this at Lord's, you don't look down, you look up at the clouds, don't you? Or the sunshine.
Yeah.
Well, there's no clouds, I can tell you that. So it might be a great day for England to have a bowl again. That's what they tend to do. And I'm at the ground now and I'm looking out and it's busy. Ben Stokes has just been out, looked at the pitch. I'm a long way away from this pitch and I can tell you it looks an absolute belter again. Get yourself in, book in as a batsman, bed and breakfast.
But so you would let them, you would take the ball, you'd let the Indians bat first.
No, I wouldn't. Crikey, no. I was brought up in a different era. When you win the toss, don't even think about inserting the opposition, just bat.
Yeah. What about Joffre then? Paul Fabrice told us earlier, says, no, he's ready. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's an exciting time for England. He freshens the attack up and he's a potent force. Real pace. First time that he's played Test cricket for about 4 years. I've got a mate out in Barbados, a lad called Andy Payne, he's the starter. You might know him, Al. He's the starter at Royal Westmoreland at the golf club. And he's a big mate of Joffre Archer's, and he's texted me this week. He said he's in a great place and he's raring to go.
Where's your favourite restaurant there, Bumble? I'm lunch at the Lone Star for me is unbeatable.
Yeah, Dave Whelan got that in the end, I think.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Dave Whelan when he was playing for Blackburn Rovers.
Really. Oh, I love it out there. Lovely people.
So, if England are to win the series and the Ashes this winter, do you think this team needs to learn how to play a bit more defensively with the bat?
Good question, Carlton. I think you've got to play the situation, and we don't see that often. England say we're going to go after it, we're going to be aggressive, so there's a little bit of high risk.
Yeah.
All I'll say to that is, in my experience, all the great players, the best players there's ever been, have had a defence.
Also, do you think Zach Crawley is under pressure to keep his place? Because that question keeps on coming up now.
Do you know, I think we're wasting our breath, Carlton. It's not a debate. They just keep picking him. He averages 30. I mean, they're probably being a little bit stubborn. He is a wonderful player who's not getting any runs. So the lads waiting in the wings are saying, what do I have to do to get in the team?
Yeah.
For the time being, England are going to stick with him.
Well, David, as a coach, what would you suggest to Zach? What would you say to him then to get back into, he's quite clearly a classy batsman. How would you encourage him to get that back?
Yeah, don't chase the ball. When you've got somebody like Bumrah and Siraj, don't chase it. Make them bowl at you. And so you've got to be prepared to sort of leave the ball outside off stump, because that's where they're going to bowl at 90 miles an hour. So you've got to get in your mind that I'm not going to play out there, outside the off stump. You've got to bowl at me if you want me to play, and I'm going to hit you straight back where it's come from.
Right, okay. Would you suggest, I'm reading here that people are saying India have outplayed England in both tests, although it's 1-1. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would. India had their opportunities up at Headingley and they didn't catch very well. If they'd have caught well, it'd have been a different story. They were 430 for 3 in the first innings and then lost 7 quick wickets. And so I think they've had the upper hand. But, you know, look, this is another day. It's another game. And I should think England will be saying, right, we bounce back here. We play a little bit more savvy. And we're all waiting. You're waiting for the toss. I'm waiting for the toss. There's not a cloud in the sky. No, there isn't. It looks a great pitch.
Yeah.
Ben, I'll shout to him. I can see him bowling. Ben, bat first.
Listen, I'm coming over to the cricket on Friday. Is there any chance of me bumping into the Bumble?
Yeah, I'll be in the media centre. Just mention my name and bring all your mates. You'll get in.
Oh, I love it.
Will you be down in the boundary, Bumble, at 10 o'clock with a bottle of bubbly?
Yeah.
No, that's for you, Al. You and the Romford Pelly.
Have a great day, David. Thank you.
Cheers, Dave.
You too.
David Lloyd, brilliant. Okay, 03717 223344. Let's take a quick call from a West Ham fan. Reports today Kudus is on his way to Spurs. Are you happy one of your best players going to your rival Spurs? Phil's a West Ham fan. Good morning, Phil.
Yeah, good morning, Al. Good morning, Colton.
Good morning, Phil.
Great to speak to you. West Ham legend and obviously a radio legend, Al.
Good man.
Cole, we've got the power to know you're indestructible.
You had to get it in, didn't you?
Always believing.
Yeah, Joe Cole was some player he was.
He was, but he weren't Colton Cole.
Oh, thank you, Phil, mate. Thank you.
So, does it really upset you if you're going to lose them, it's going to Spurs?
Not really, no. I mean, are they a rival of ours? Not really. They're third biggest club in North London after Arsenal and Barnet. So it's not a major issue for me. What's the issue is though, is that, and it's West Ham's problem, of course, but it harks back to our football governance. Paqueta's been off the boil for now a year. We're waiting 2 years for any information on his betting scandal outside of it, whether it's true or false or whatever. What it's all about is hanging over the player. You boys know you played at the highest level. Little things can affect your performance. It's affected his performance. I think it's got into the rest of the players.
Mm-hmm.
I think in terms of, like, we've seen it with Manchester City, how long we're waiting for that.
Yeah.
It's just abysmal. Just give us an answer so we know what we can do. If we've got to write the player off, we've got to write the player off. If he's clear, great. We can move on and we can decide whether he goes to Manchester City or, as he's hinted at, he wants to go back to Brazil. But at least we can start building. Everything takes so long. And it's always the fans that ends up suffering, as in Crystal Palace fans at the moment still waiting.
Yeah.
But for me, we should have kept J-Lo last year. And I know people say no, they're shouting at the radios now. But there were clearly three worse teams than us in the league. So yes, it wasn't going to be great to finish 17th. But if we'd have given him time to gel that team and put that team to play together, I think we'd have seen a different West Ham last year. We've certainly seen it in the second half of the season. And in terms of Fulkrog, I think he's a great player, and I hope he stays. I'm praying he stays because he's got a bit of fire in his belly. But he was injured at the wrong times for us. So I think the board have to take, and I know, Colton, you know these guys and you can't say much, but they have to take they've got to take the brunt of this, because they react too quickly. They get rid of people before giving them time. They moved us from a stadium that we loved. We paid $2 million a year rent, and what did they do? Tell us that we were going to be Champions League football in 5 years, 10 years. Yes, we've won a trophy, and you can't take that away from us. But it's just about the lies again. I just wish they'd move on and sell the club and let someone else invest in it.
Okay, Phil, thanks for your call, mate. Good luck at the start of the season. Not long now, Carlton, is it? Boys will be back pre-season.
They're back already. They're back already pre-season. They're off to Germany, the first team. So the manager's going to run.
Why did they do that? Why we used to go to Holland in the?
I think it's the altitude that they're looking for the training
in Germany.
I think so. I don't know. All the facilities is one of the two, isn't it? We used to go to Austria into the mountains.
Yeah.
So that's what we used to do. But yeah, there's always a reason. There might be something over there that the boys can grab onto, and all the testing and all that sort of stuff. Sports science leads that part of the.
I must admit, the forests in Holland were beautiful.
Yeah,
that smell in the morning, the
fresh, isn't
beautiful.
It?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. We used to jump in the lakes. Like, remember, right in the morning, Sam Allardyce, we used to go to, where did we go? I think we used to go to Austria. We went to Spa as well. We went to Spa one time as well. And we used to just jump in the lakes early in the morning when it's fresh, and your body just wakes up, and then you're just like, then you can get on with your day, you know. But yeah, pre-season is always a hard time. It's time for, obviously, Graham Potter's going to try and figure out his team, and see who wants to keep and who wants to get rid of.
Coming up, we turn attention to Dubois against Usyk, just over a week away. Can you believe that? We can't wait here on talkSPORT. We bring you the best live coverage on the radio, and also Carlton tries to convince me to start listening to Skepta. Who the hell's... That's coming next.
He plays that villain role very well now. That's crying out for a little bit more attention. It comes with a lot of crazy people. I took it personally and it kind of made me rebel a bit more. To be honest, I don't really care anymore. I'm never going to change.
To 10, talkSPORT breakfast. Arnold Clark, I've got it in my head. Alan Brazil, Carlton Cole. Now we're just 9 days away from what will be another historic boxing bout as we witness another undisputed heavyweight championship. This time it's Usyk against Daniel Dubois. I tell you what, Carlton, when Daniel first came in the studio, he hardly said a word, right? Mm-hmm. But what a change in this man now, this young man. What a change. He's a brute now.
Yeah, he's actually feeling the part. I think not looking the part, he's feeling the part. And that's the most important thing for any boxer. You got to feel that part. Yeah. You need to, do you know what, I can challenge this guy. He's
Mr. Angry now.
Yeah, he's angry. He even nearly bit off at AJ's there, didn't he?
No,
really?
absolutely,
and then AJ got upset saying, no, you used to be a nice guy. What's happened to you?
Yeah.
So it just shows you where his mind's at. So he's changed his mindset. And that's all sometimes it takes out. Just to change your mindset to get you in the winning momentum.
So the Brit Dubois, now carrying the IBF title, will be eyeing redemption after his controversial defeat, if you remember, in the epic contest 2 years ago.
Round 5. Good right hand, but that was low. And you can see that it has hurt Usyk because he is now onto his backside.
That weren't that low. That was a body shot. I'm telling you, I looked at that. That was on the waistline. Them shorts were high.
We got conned out of that. VAR, if you can have it in football, bring it in boxing.
Down goes Joshua. Dubois hits him with a tremendous right-hand counter.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Dubois giving Big Benny Miller a Brooklyn beat down against the ropes. Alexander Usyk finds the answer.
Tyson Fury was out on his feet.
Oh my word, that left hand.
London is like my home.
Prepare for the greatest victory in boxing.
A wonderful night for Ukraine.
From Ukraine, Alexander Usyk. Usyk.
You won't want to miss this as we expect another explosive battle between two warriors. Live on talkSPORT is Saturday, 19th of July. That's the 19th of July. Or you can watch it exclusively on DAZN. Head to DAZN.com for more information. Now, he hasn't stopped talking about all morning. Carlton was apparently down with the kids and wearing bucket hats to music festivals. Now, here you made a list of your top 5 from Glastonbury. Here we go.
Listen, I'll give you my top 5 in reverse order. All right. So we had Groove Armada, Rod Stewart, Nile Rodgers, Skepta, Fortet. Yeah?
Well, a couple of them I like.
You like a couple of them, yeah?
Yeah.
All I want you to do, Alan, is rate 1 out of 5, yeah? And how much it slaps. So you got to rate 1 to 5. So 1 out of 5, how much it slaps, basically. Here's number 5, Selector.
Two.
You like that?
No. 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5?
Yeah.
That's Groove Armada.
No, that's murder, honestly.
Don't you like that?
What's the next one?
All right, then. Okay, here's number 4.
Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you.
5. 5.
5-star rating.
Yes.
Love it. All right, here's number 3.
Four. Yeah, I thought Nile Rodgers and Sheik were brilliant.
They were brilliant. He does love a name drop, doesn't he?
Brilliant.
It's brilliant though, yeah. But he's worked with a lot of stars.
He's been around a long time.
Yes, yeah. Here's number 2.
That's not me. Act like a waste man, that's not me. Any girl, nah, that's not me. Lips any girl, nah, that's not me.
That's not me.
I used to wear Gucci.
It's not me either. 1. 1.
1. Oh, you know what? Mate,
pants.
If you was at the stage of me, I'd get you rocking to that.
No, you would.
You would be dancing with the beer in your hand. You'll be saying, "Yeah, that is me."
No.
You'll be saying, "Yeah, that is me."
That's not me.
Oh, God. All right. Here's my number 1.
Baby, you're all that help. You're making me more. Baby, you're making me more.
Yeah?
I'm not sure I can even give that a 1.
What?
That's murder.
What? Come on, you got to get with it. 4 tets.
Get with it. That's rubbish.
That's 4 tets. They are. He is amazing. He's got so many bangers.
I thought it was a girl.
He's a DJ.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Why he wants to stick to playing records then?
4 tet. Are you hearing that? Alan Brazil's not having ya.
No, I'm not having
He's
that.
not having Skepta. He's having Nile Rodgers though. He loves Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
He's not having Groove Armada.
No.
My gosh.
Spanish Armada, yeah, but not Groove Armada.
Listen, you need to come out with me on the tiles.
Oh, I don't think so.
You do.
I can't.
I need to change your mindset.
No, you'll be going to the loo every 5 minutes.
Oh, that's true. You'll be on your own half the time.
So listen, good luck tomorrow at Lord's.
Cheers.
Who are you there?
I'm there with a brand called Percival. So I'm wearing their suit for them. Nice green number. Yeah. Green. Lovely.
Are you really?
Yeah, very summery. What's the material when it's like a bit flannelly? I've forgotten what it's called.
Cotton?
No, it's not cotton. But yeah, I'm wearing that. And you'll see me. So if you do see me over at the cricket, come over and say I'll be all in green. The only black man all in green.
Well, why do you want to wear green at cricket? You know, this is Lords we're talking about here.
You gotta go green.
Dress etiquette.
That's it. Listen, it's a lovely suit. When you see me in it, you won't be
Green.
saying that. You won't be saying that when you see me. Yeah, with a nice stripy shirt on. You know.
Yeah.
I look lovely. Yeah. So come on, I look very inviting.
Just a quick tell me about your boy up at Hull.
Yeah. So he's doing really well up at Hull City now. Like he's I think they're over in Slovenia doing their pre-season. He's just turned 17. My younger one's under 14s at West Ham, so he's a striker. But the older one is a left-sided centre back or a left wing back. So he's
good. I'll look out for them.
Please do.
And you're going to Aces on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Are you wearing your bucket hat?
I'm going to Oasis again.
Don't put my
supersonic.
Don't put a parker on in this weather.
Oh no! I'm going. I went to Cardiff and I was wearing a vest.
Were you? Just a vest?
Just a vest, just showing my muscles. You know?
You're a bit flash, aren't you? Green suits and...
Yeah, I'm a bit flamboyant. Why not? You got to enjoy life.
Muscles from Brussels.
Well, look at what you're wearing. You're wearing a nice mustard
only because the last thing in my wardrobe. I just grabbed it.
Right. Nothing wrong with it though, you look good.
I've enjoyed it today, Carlton, thank you. Jim and Simon coming next week. Don't forget, Palace fans, John Texter. So Palace fans, you won't want to miss it, okay? I'm back tomorrow with Ray Party Parlour. See you tomorrow at 6.